Welcome to episode 7 of the Cold Topic Podcast. With the amazing hosts, myself and Sack,
Hello.
the one and only Sack.
I am, in fact, not the only one, but we're not going to tell John about the many, many duplicate clone bodies I keep in just in case.
Oh, well, that's fair. The least I know, the better.
That's true. Yeah. You'd be in danger if you knew about the many, many duplicate clone bodies I keep just in case.
Well, I definitely don't want to be in danger. This needs to be.
That's true. Yeah.
I don't know why Sailor Moon's colors are her hair is black, but whatever. We'll go with that. I'm having a lot of issues when it comes to shit lately.
Yeah, the color is washed out. My color's actually pretty washed out too, but don't worry, it mirrors how I feel right now.
I can tell. Are you cold?
So I guess I'll just I hurt my neck really, really bad.
Oh, that's a neck
this
brace.
morning.
Okay.
Yeah, really bad this morning. Like I pulled something and then I fainted, and then I got up to go to the bathroom, and then I fainted in the bathroom, and then I called 911. And the EMTs showed up, and they didn't really do anything. But yeah, I can't move my neck without incredible pain and fainting.
Well,
So
sorry to hear that. I hope that you have a quick and steady recovery.
oh god, so do I.
yeah. I've fucked up my neck and my back before, and it's no joke. Not fun.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I sprained my spine once, or I should say my stepfather sprained my spine once, and that was the most pain I have ever experienced. I don't even have like words to describe how much pain that, so much worse than what I'm currently experiencing. Not that this is pleasant, but yeah.
I can yeah, I think hurting my back when I worked at Target was probably like the worst pain. I mean, that and breaking my toe. Those are like probably the two most painful things. And I've broken my skull, so that's saying a lot.
Yeah, I think it's because of the number of like nerves in the spine and how they like connect. That it's like you hurt your spine, you have hurt literally everything.
Oh, that's why. It's showing up the background. So apparently I can't wear yellow either. So I changed my shirt for nothing.
Well,
I'm see-through now. I can confirm broken toes suck, as do back issues. Hell yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah,
This is the Gray Topic Podcast. That would have been a good name. We didn't think of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of past podcasts, I've taken over the hosting. I've stolen the position because I refuse to shut up. So I went back to all of my old episodes of Wadawa, what I watched this week. And I don't know if you know that YouTube has this like thing called chapters where you can see like talking points based on like timestamps inside of the video's bar. You know the time, like you know how you can see how far you are into the video.
Yeah.
Have you seen like chapters where it like lists what part of the video you're in that bar?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So I went back and added those chapters to all my old episodes of to all my old episodes of Wadawa, what I watched this week, and Water, which is, you know, the current show I do on my anime channel, what I watched recently. But I also went back and added it to all 6 episodes of the Cold Topic Podcast. So there are now, like, inbuilt timestamps on the entire podcast.
That's awesome. I was gonna bring that up a while ago, but I like the worst fucking memory when it comes to shit. I'm getting a little bit better, a little bit. It's been crazy. So let's get into the recap. So how have you been this last month?
Well, until literally today, I've been pretty damn good this past month.
That's understandable.
I've been streaming like a motherfucker.
I've seen, yeah.
Yeah, so I've kept doing pretty much weekly 12-hour streams, which I really need to fucking stop because it is becoming a pain in the ass to upload these onto YouTube. But sack length, no, I refuse.
Fuck.
But yeah. So we finished Maid's game request of Digital Devil Saga Avatar Tuner
Mm-hmm.
on stream. Then we did the entirety of Metal Gear Solid 4 Guns of the Patriots. We started and finished that in one stream. Then we did Pache's game request of Echo Knights. Or Echo Knight? Echo Knight. I always call it Echo Knights. It's Echo Knight. We did that in one stream also. And now we've moved on to Drakengard 3, the first game I will ever fail to beat on stream. We have finished endings A, B, and C, as well as all of the DLC, and we're moving on to ending D now, which is the one I won't be able to beat. But
Hell yeah. That sounds like a lot, yeah. But
yeah,
but
so,
here's the question though. You're having fun doing it.
yes, it's been a pretty good time. Well, okay, Digital Devil Saga got a little dicey, but once we give up on Drakengard 3, inevitably, it looks like next up in the queue is Digital Devil Saga 2, which is, guess what, also Maid's game request. Persona 4 Arena Ultimax, and Echo Knight 2 Lord of Nightmare, and then all 3 God of Wars in a row.
Neat. I actually just started playing God of War 1 last night.
Oh, cool.
It's been on my list forever, and I just said fucking got PS Now last night so I could play all like literally all the God of Wars. So
That is true. I did like Echo Knight, surprisingly. It's like one of my favorite FromSoft games now.
ooh.
Yeah, it was actually good. To everyone's surprise.
No, that's good.
Yeah, I was surprised. It was actually good. Pretty good soundtrack too, even. But yeah. So how have your streams been going, John? I know you.
They haven't.
I know you're doing. This is the 3-month period where you do all those RPGs, right?
Yes. So, that had the so yeah. Sorry everyone. First of all, what? So basically, what happened was like I moved into my new room. I got everything all set up. My PC that I was using, decided to stop working. So that was a lot of fun. And then I got my brand new PC, and that did not work at all. But we'll get more into that in a little bit. Right now, currently I'm using my girlfriend's computer because she's so gracious and kind and let me borrow her PC so I could do the stream and stuff tonight. And oh, new monitor, hell yeah. So I have not been streaming, but I have been playing games, and some of those games we'll get into tonight. We'll talk about some of those and stuff like that. But yeah, it really sucks. I've actually really miss streaming, and I just can't do it right now, which kind of sucks. I literally have like my monitors and everything set up, but I unfortunately had to return my PC so they could fix it because like Windows was just not working correctly. So anytime I load any game, it would just shut off. So it was a thing. So yeah, so JRPG quarter is going really well. It's going great. When I do come back, I don't know what we're doing. We'll see. I know I got the PS5. I'm gonna have the new PC, so like that opens up a whole bunch of possibilities and stuff too.
Yeah, Arctic is really excited about the prospect of that Terraria collab.
Oh, we're definitely doing that. I already bought it and everything, so that's
Okay.
I'm like ready to go on that.
You're ready to go on that because I spent a few hours today also preparing for that. I've been getting items for it, because if everyone remembers my pitch, I go in with my normal character and everyone else starts over, and I drag your asses to the end game.
I'm 100% down for that, and I'm really looking forward to it. I'm just I contacted them Friday. They were working on it, so hopefully it'll be done by Monday or Tuesday, and then it'll take about 5 days for it to ship out. So hopefully within the next week or so. Yeah.
I actually, I was trying to fix your audio cutting out for me problem that we keep having.
Yeah.
So I actually missed what exactly is wrong with it. Can you just real quick refresh?
Well, we'll move on to the next topic, which is basically the PC problems.
Oh shit! John, I think I've discovered your problem. I think your monitor might be broken.
It definitely is. In a fit of rage, I put the keyboard inside of it, thinking it might fix it, but it did not. In fact, fix it. Actually, made it worse. So, unbeknownst to me,
he also popped out a few of the keys on the keyboard. I can see. I don't think that would help you.
Yeah, I got hungry, and I decided, if it's not gonna work, I'll make it to a snack. So.
Well, at least they're not the important keys.
They are not the important keys. So basically, everything works, but when you go to load a game, Windows just errors out for whatever reason. Any game. I tried Overwatch, it did it. Skyrim VR, it did it. I even loaded up Stardew Valley because it's like a smaller game. It did stuff too. So basically,
that almost sounds like an issue with your like drivers or anything. Did you update those?
We updated. I spent, God, 40 hours at least, like on the phone with these guys trying to fix everything. We updated all the drivers. We reinstalled Windows. We did a whole bunch of stuff to try to fix this thing, but nothing, unfortunately, worked. So I ended up having to mail it back to them, for them to fix it. So I'm waiting for.
So you had like a company do this?
Yeah, I picked out all the parts for the PC and I had a company build it for me. Just because I was going to do it by myself, but I wanted like warranties and stuff like that on all the parts and stuff like that.
Did you make sure that the parts were compatible?
Yeah, that was the one thing. Yeah, that was because when I was picking them out, I had a guy be like coach me through it and be like, "Hey, this is going to work with this. This is going to work with that," and stuff like that.
Okay, all right, yeah.
Yeah, it's just like a huge yeah, it's they think it's a Windows issue, so they're gonna just take everything out and just gut it and redo it and stuff like that. But they're working on it as of Friday, so hopefully by Monday or Tuesday, since they're not in on the weekend for whatever reason, it'll be fixed. So hopefully I'll have it within the next week and a half. Yeah, because it takes about 5 days for it to ship back. So.
Yeah, computer problems can be real headache. The computer I'm using right now was like the first one I ever built, and it was a process. It was a whole day's thing trying to figure out what plugs go into what knobbins.
Yeah,
knobbins is the technical term. You knew that though.
Yeah, knobbins. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a fucking thing. When it turned on, I could not believe it fucking worked.
Yeah. So that's what I've been doing for like. So I haven't forgotten about everyone. It's just I can't do anything because I don't have a PC right now. So it's been a lot of fun. So as soon as that comes back, I'm gonna be back. My 3 to 4 days a week and doing that stuff again. You're looking fly, man. You're looking fly.
Yeah, we can see through the screen. We're always watching you. Yeah. I told you that. Like Pache is right. It is easy as long as you're reading all the instructions and you have the right parts and stuff. What I will say that surprised me is like when you're building your PC, you have to push on components harder than you think you have to.
Yeah, and I figured that out because one of the things they told me to do is like take out the RAM sticks And like I was
Yeah.
trying to be so delicate with them because I'm like, I don't want to break
Uh-huh.
this shit. I don't want to break this shit.
No, the
He's
right
like, just
solutions, you
slam
gotta
it
like slam it like your hand's a hammer.
I'm like on the phone with this guy. He's like, just slam it the fuck in. And I'm like, all right, dude. And I was like, yeah,
Just bam, yeah.
yeah. You had to do that with
Yeah.
yeah. So like it was a whole thing, and like I spent literally like 40 hours like on the phone with these guys, like trying to fix it. Like big ups to them trying to help me out and trying to get this done, so I didn't have to do this. Unfortunately, we couldn't do it over the phone, so I had to send it in. But it is what it is. Of course, it happened to me, but whatever. So
Yeah.
yeah, it is what it is. We'll just go forward from there, and it sucks. I've missed out on like a whole month of streaming just because of it, but you know. Eh, eh. So I that's about it on that. I mean, sorry everyone.
Okay. So it looks like next up is Drakengard Canon Soapbox Rant. Did I... there we go. I was like, is there not a Drakengard image in there? Yeah, so let me try to engage you in this Drakengard Canon Soapbox Rant, John. How familiar are you with the Drakengard franchise? Like, what do you know about it?
All I know is that everyone either loves it or hates it.
Fair enough. So not a whole lot then.
No. The only Drakengard stuff I know of is stuff that you've talked about, and this other person I've been watching on YouTube, she's talked about it a couple times too.
Okay. What? All right. This. No, this is not subjective at all. Do you know what the most popular, famous Drakengard game is of the 5-game series?
It's 3, isn't it? Right.
3 is known among circles, but it is not the most famous or popular Drakengard game.
I don't know then.
Okay. Well, then I'll leave this as a little bit of a surprise. So there are 5 main Drakengard games with 2 other Drakengard games that have been announced to be released relatively soon. I don't know all the details. This will not go into the lore of Drakengard, and it will not go into the story of Drakengard beyond what the endings entail in the series. Because this is entirely on the canonicity of entries in series, because there's a debate on what entries in the series are canon, and I have done research on this. So, the first Drakengard game was Drakengard. It was just called Drakengard. Drakengard 1, retroactively. And then they made Drakengard 2. And in Drakengard 1, there were 5 endings, ending A, B, C, D, and E. And ending A leads to Drakengard 2. And Drakengard 2 has, I think, 4 or 5 endings also, but it doesn't matter because nothing spawns off from Drakengard 2. So that one, it stops at 2, is what I'm saying for that. But in Drakengard, the third Drakengard game that came out after Drakengard 2 actually is based off of ending E in Drakengard 1. So Drakengard 1 ending A goes to Drakengard 2. Drakengard ending E goes to a game called Nier. And then Nier it was called Dragon Dragoon. Yes, it is called Dragon Dragoon, and I guess while we're talking about it, I will go ahead and say that I'm going to call it Drakengard the whole time. Whenever I'm talking about like official sources or official statements, obviously they refer to it as either Dragon Dragoon, just Dragon, which is their in-house name, or more commonly actually is DoD. Is what they refer to it as. But anyway, ending E of Drakengard led to Nier. Then there were 4 endings of Nier, A, B, C, and D. They're all basically the same ending, but from a different character's perspective and with like 3 minutes added onto them. So the ending of Nier doesn't matter. And then Drakengard 3 was released, which is the 4th game in the series. And that game has 4 endings. and ending A supposedly leads to Drakengard 1, and ending D doesn't lead to anything, but it's fucking impossible, and it's one of the hardest final bosses in any video game ever made. So, just thought I would put that out there. And then the fifth and finally released Drakengard game is Nier Automata, which you've probably heard of, which is why I would call that the most famous Drakengard game.
I played a little bit.
You've played a little bit. So you've played a little bit of Drakengard then, kind of.
We did it.
You did it. There's also a Nier Reincarnation, which is like a mobile game that's been released, and they're remaking Nier Replicant specifically, because the original Nier game in Japan was divided into two games, Gestalt and Replicant. Replicant was on PC. There was minor differences, but basically you played the brother of a girl named Yona in it, and you're like a young man, and you're whatever. And that was for the PlayStation, and then the Xbox version was Gestalt, where you play like an old dude, and you're the father of Yona, and so it's basically Brother Nier versus Dad Nier. But in America, we just got Dad Nier, because they thought Brother Nier wouldn't sell well. So even on PlayStation, we just got Nier Gestalt. But they're re-releasing Nier Replicant as version 1.22 and then an irrational number. So
neat.
Where you play as Brother Nier across both versions. That doesn't really matter, but I figured while I'm talking about all the Drakengard entries, I'll just fucking talk about that. Anyway, the importance of this is that there are debates about which Drakengard games are canon. And I've heard that Drakengards 2 and 3 have been decanonized. And excuse me, I haven't heard from too many sources that Drakengard 3 has been decanonized, but I've seen several people say that Drakengard 2 hasn't been canon, which is baffling to me that Drakengard 2 is not intended to be canon, because it is the most direct of the sequels. Does that make Final Fantasy XIV a Drakengard game? It makes it a spin, it makes it tangentially related, like the Sinnoh Alice collaboration. There's a 12,000 year time span between Nier and Automata, and there's 100 or 1,000 years or something between Drakengard 3 and Drakengard 1. The time span between Drakengard and Drakengard 2 is 18 years. And characters from the original Drakengard appear in Drakengard 2. So hearing that was supposed to be decanonized is baffling to me. So I was streaming Drakengard 3 and I asked, it seems so fucking weird to have decanonized both 2 and 3. 2 kind of made more sense because the director of all the other games, Yoko Taro, didn't direct 2, but he did direct 3. So it seems so weird that those 2 games wouldn't be considered canon and they're supposed to be off in their own universe, that I just posed the idea. It's I wonder if they have actually been decanonized or if that's just commonly spouted rhetoric created by Nier fanboys. So I did research.
Also, what's up, Drew? Thank you for the host, and always give the Bulbasaur scritches. He deserves his scritches.
I watched every Yoko Taro interview on YouTube.
What?
In an attempt to discover if he actually decanonized Drakengard 2 and Drakengard 3. He does not mention this at any point. He heavily hints that Drakengard 3 is canon. So what I did is I looked at the wiki, and yes, including the Final Fantasy XIV one, Pache, and the Sinnoh Alice one. Yes, I even watched the collaboration interviews. So I went on the wiki, and the wiki cites a source that says that Drakengard 2 was a canon according to official promotional material from the time it was released. So Drakengard 2 was initially intended to be canon, but the wiki then claims that Drakengard 2 has since been retconned into its own time, its own timeline. what bothers me about that is they cite a source for Drakengard 2 being canon. There is no cited source for Drakengard 2 not being canon. So I do a little more digging, and it seems like the idea people get where Drakengard 2 is not canon, I believe, comes from a timeline that a fan has made and has placed on the Drakengard wiki, so that when they go to the wiki, they come to the assumption that it is not canon because the timeline that is on the wiki itself does not claim it to be canon. Like I go through like the sources that the timeline itself cites. And the only one I wasn't able to find was an April 21st live stream on Nico Nico, where Yoko Taro goes through the complete Drakengard timeline. But I have not found an archive of this stream, and to be honest with you, John, I have not found evidence that this stream ever actually occurred. I'm willing to give it the benefit of a doubt and say it happened, but I even went on Nico Nico and I couldn't find an archive of the stream even on Nico Nico. And like I even went to like the official like Nier pages on Nico Nico, and none of it seems to include this timeline. It includes things related to like Nier at the time, including a broadcast of the Nier stage drama, which occurred on April 21st. But I was unable to locate a timeline that Yoko Taro created about this. But even more so, the actual statement on the Drakengard timeline itself, is like on the wiki, is that the reason Drakengard 2 is not included on it is because Yoko Taro did not direct the game, and so he's not authorized to speak on the game. And then it ends with, sorry, don't lose sleep over it, which, first off, kind of gives me the hint that the person in the timeline might just not like Drakengard 2. But second off, the second part about that is I've seen the statements that Yoko Taro wasn't the director, and so he wasn't authorized to give statements about the canonicity of Drakengard 2 before. And I don't know if it originated from this timeline, but I'm willing to blame almost everything on this timeline. I don't have a lot of evidence for that, but I'm willing to blame it on the timeline. I don't know if that's something he said or not, but if it is something he said, that does not mean what people thinks it means. Because Yoko Taro is, one, not the actual creator of Drakengard anyway, and two, he doesn't own the Drakengard property. Square Enix owns the Drakengard property. So if Square Enix says that Drakengard 2 is canon, it's fucking canon, whether he wants it to be or not. But I realize that that's not a satisfying answer for all you Drakengard 2 haters. Because even if it's officially canon, it's not canon in your heart, and it's not canon in Yoko Taro's heart.
Just like Dragon Ball GT.
Yeah. So I did more research.
It's canon in my heart. If a stream don't have John, hey, nah. Drew, I love you so much. I've missed you so much.
Yeah, anyway, so I was about to give up and just say, well, I guess Drakengard 2's canon because I literally can't I went with the intention of disproving that, I tried to prove Drakengard 2 wasn't canon, was my method. I tried to use the scientific method on it. And then I found one last source. I found an interview that Yoko Taro, Akira Yasui, the director of Drakengard 2, and the producer for all three Drakengard games, did on Dengeki Online. The interview was 33 pages, 60,000 Japanese characters. John?
You read it all.
I read every single fucking word of this interview. Every
I knew it.
Single fucking word of it. First off, it was actually a pretty good interview. I posted a lot of highlights about what I got from it on my Discord. If you go to like the video game section and you search like DOD, because I never refer to Drakengard as DOD, it's always Drakengard. If you search DOD, you see some of the highlights from it. It talks about like funny anecdotes from the past and like how turbulent the original Drakengard's development time was. Talks about inspirations for Drakengard. Apparently, it was supposed to be like Romeo and Juliet, but there's a huge debate on who Juliet is in the original Drakengard. And Yoko Taro even talks about and confirms his sister fetish. So it was a pretty good interview, all things considered. But yeah, in the interview, the producer of all 3 Drakengard games is asked and confirms that all 3 Drakengard games occur in the same timeline. So that's pretty great. Yoko Taro personally called in Akira Yasui, the director of Drakengard 2, to talk about the Drakengard franchise because he himself did not direct Drakengard 2 and barely remembers anything about it. As it turns out, Yoko Taro himself did actually work slightly on Drakengard 2. Not in a very large capacity. He oversaw the project slightly from like arm's length away, and he also helped edit CG cutscenes and trailers. So he did have a little bit of help in actually creating the game, even if he wasn't the direct director like Akira Yasui was. He was at least slightly involved, like in the production of the game. But anyway. So yeah, going through this 33-page interview, a lot of interesting things. And then I hit the Holy Grail, the answer I had been seeking. The interviewer literally asks Yoko Taro, is Drakengard 3 in the same world as Drakengard 1 and 2? Yes. He just straight up, unambiguously says, yes, it is. And then even later in the interview, it's clarified, does Drakengard 3 lead to Drakengard 1, which then leads to Drakengard 2? To which Yoko Taro then again states, unambiguously, yes, it does. Therefore, according to both the production of according to the production of Drakengard, like Square Enix, and the director of most of the games himself, Yoko Taro, yes, Drakengard 2 and Drakengard 3 are canon and all exist in the same universe. Along with like Nier, obviously, but this was specifically a Drakengard interview. So, there's your fucking answer. I did it. I did my research. I did so much research.
Good job, Zach.
Thank you. So now if someone ever asks you, hey, is Drakengard 2 canon? You can be like, oh god, yeah. Oh my god. I heard an entire 30-minute long rant about how it was super canon.
I do get asked that a lot. Also, shout out to Jake for that Twitch Prime sub. Thank you. I love you.
Shut up. That was it. That was, like I said, I wasn't even going to talk about the games. I'm just talking about what's canon.
That's fair. But that's it. You did the research, you spent the time, you got the facts. So now we know. 2 is canon.
It's super canon, yes. Even Pache complimented me on my research. I didn't acknowledge it, but...
But hey, if we can get facts that GT is canon, in an alternate universe, at least, I'll be happy.
I've done the research on GT being canon, and there is no official statements one way or the other from anyone. Chris Sabat said it isn't, but I don't find him to be a credible source on production. So
that's fair.
I've looked. I've also wondered, is GT canon? No one has said anything. Like I can't. It's not just like I can find sources saying it is or isn't. No one has addressed this ever.
No one fucking. the thing that because they keep putting stuff in the games too. Like Dragon Ball FighterZ just put like Omega Shenron and like Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta in there, and I'm like, okay, it's got to be fucking canon at this point.
For the record, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta is super fucking strong.
Yeah.
Like, if we're talking about strongest Dragon Ball characters, fucking SS4 Gogeta is an absolute monster, and I dare say he could beat anyone not an angel in Super. But I'm just putting it out there.
Next time.
Yeah, I'm just putting it out there. SS4 Gogeta is unfucking believable.
Well, like one of the promos for the character coming out was like Super Saiyan God Blue Gogeta versus Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, and they have like
SS4 Gogeta would kill him.
yeah, they have like a scenario where SS4 Gogeta wins and where Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta wins.
Yeah.
Thank you for
Now,
for the
granted, from what we've seen, I think it's pretty safe to say that like a Super Saiyan Blue could probably beat a Super Saiyan 4.
Yeah.
But the level of power that fucking SS4 Gogeta has for that brief, like 1 minute time period he fought Omega Shinron is next goddamn level.
Those are like my like 3 favorite episodes of GT. Hands down.
Yeah.
Because they were just ridiculous.
Completely agree. Yeah.
I remember having the VHS. Like
the saddest part about GT is Super Saiyan 4 is so much cooler and so much better narratively and lore-wise. Like, it even fits in with the lore of Dragon Ball better than Blue. So it's so disappointing that they went with Blue.
Yeah. It is what it is, but yeah.
Like, Super Saiyan 4 is so cool that even Akira Toriyama's like, oh, it's super cool, I wish I thought of it.
He did say that. I remember reading that, because, like, I've done some research on the Super Saiyan stuff, so...
Yeah.
On the Dragon Ball side of things. Alright, let's move on to the next topic. The next cold
Pokemon
topic.
Legends.
Yes. Did you see this trailer?
I saw a teaser. I wouldn't describe it as a trailer. It did the Breath of the Wild shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard about what the Nintendo like Pokemon announcements were. The like remakes of Diamond and Pearl.
Yeah.
And Pokemon Legends Arceus, which is like an open world set in the like Diamond and Pearl region.
Mm-hmm.
But like 4,000 years in the past, which 4,000 years in the past, it predates the Great Pokemon War, actually.
Yeah, which I thought it was an interesting time period for them to choose. So I'm like, all right.
Mm-hmm.
Everything looks a little older. You know, Pokeballs are different. You know, about time we got an open world fucking Pokemon game. So, a way to set in the past. But I mean, you know, it looks cool. I'm pretty excited. I wanted to see what everyone's thoughts were on it. So everyone seems to be very divisive over this. So
I'm actually more interested in Diamond and Pearl.
Me too. I love Diamond and Pearl. Yeah.
I've actually never played them.
Ooh,
they are the only generation of Pokemon I have not played.
Yeah, they good.
But I do know Cynthia. The legend herself.
She is a legend.
But yeah, so I'm actually more interested in that. I think I'll see how Legends Arceus goes. It's worth noting that Pokemon Legends was actually a Pokemon MMO, for the record. That's why it's called Legends Arceus and not just Legends.
Oh, I did not know that.
Mm-hmm. You do know who Arceus is, correct?
He's God.
Yes. Okay.
Not to flex, but I did have an Arceus at one point on my Diamond and Pearl cart that I unfortunately don't have anymore.
Ooh, nice.
I went to GameStop. This is how old I am. I went to a GameStop for an event to get Arceus in like 2006 or wherever the fuck those came out. They had some event where you had to go and like fucking do something, I don't remember, and you got Arceus for it. Sweet. Good times.
I thought they didn't do the Diamond and Pearl Arceus event. Or did they just like give it to you?
Yeah, they you basically like walked in and hooked up to their Wi-Fi or some shit and got the mystery gift or some shit. I don't remember.
Oh, okay.
That was like 14 years ago.
Yeah, I gotcha. Because I know there was supposed to be a whole event around Arceus that was never implemented in the game, so it's just sitting in the files. So I guess they just passed it out.
Yeah, they did the same thing with Genesect and Black and White. So
right, I played Black and White late. That game should be better.
Black 2 makes up for it, I think. I think Black 2
Like
is like the definitive.
narratively, the game is good, but like the region is so fucking frustrating. Like the fact that you have to gain like 20 levels at the very end of that game is so fucking annoying.
That's fair.
Yeah. And this was like before XP share was always on in Universal. So,
Was it?
so
I thought I.
yeah. X and Y.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
hmm
Yeah. Yeah. Mm.
I know that because X and Y was the Pokemon game that brought me back to Pokemon. I hadn't played since like Sapphire. I found out that X and Y had a character creator, and I'm like, oh, that's pretty interesting. That almost interests me in Pokemon again. And then it's like, hey, if you get X and Y before December, you get a free event Torchic, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm getting this game now.
I had the same Torchic.
Get the game for that. That Torchic is strong as fuck.
Yeah, and they can like immediately fucking Mega Evolve too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Good times. I'm excited for this game. It looks interesting to me. Especially like the open world aspect of it. I do have my doubts about it. It does look kind of boring and plain, like in like the world. But I mean, it it could change. Who knows? The game's not coming out for another year or whatever. Uh, but I mean, it's a Pokemon game, so I'll obviously buy it. I bought Sword and Shield and I hated. Well, I bought Sword and I hated it. But I mean, it was just Pokemon on easy mode. That's why I didn't like it. I blasted through it.
Sword is the worst Pokemon game since the originals.
There.
Like since Red and Blue.
Yeah.
And I don't know what you're talking about. Easy mode. I wouldn't necessarily agree with that. I mean, it's easier than some of the others. The issue with Sword I have is entirely narrative. It is
Yeah.
written like hot garbage.
I blasted through that game in like I want to say like 10 hours. Like I had I didn't have to grind it all in that game. Like I just literally just blasted through it like no problem.
Yeah, XP share is always on in that also.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure has infuriated some people, some crazy fucking lunatics.
Yeah, it made it. That's one of the things I think it made it like super easy too, just because like I came from like my first Pokemon game was Pokemon Blue. I got that on like fucking Easter in like 1998 or some shit, and called out of school sick for like the next week to play that game, and it took me like God knows how long to play that game, but like Sword I beat in probably like a good 12 hours I think, and like beat the entire game, like everything in it, and I was like, eh.
Yeah, it was definitely shorter. I think I beat it in like 32
Yeah.
hours. But as everyone who's watched the podcast knows, when I play a fucking game, I play a fucking game. I don't just like I'm gonna go right for the championship. I talk to everyone in town. I level up my Pokemon. I explore the areas. I fight some big ass monster kaiju.
I think I was like level 42 when I beat that game, something like that. I just literally just fucking wailed through it.
Yeah, no, it's certainly not. It's certainly not hard. It's definitely one of the easier Pokemon games. But yeah, my issue is like pure narrative. Like there's a plot going in the background, but you just like end up going from like stadium to stadium, and it's like okay, but like why are we not focusing on the plot?
Yeah.
Like there's a plot happening, and then at the end, like the villain just comes out of nowhere, and he's like, "Surprise! I'm gonna go evil out of nowhere," and it's like, motherfucker. You could have waited till tomorrow. Like he's trying to solve a problem 1,000 years from now. He could have waited one fucking day.
That's fair.
Like the problem he wanted to solve occurs 1,000 years from that day. He could have waited one day.
He didn't want to.
He didn't want to. He's like, damn it, I'm trying to save a problem a millennia in advance. Like a lunatic. And it's like, look, I appreciate your forethought, sir, but fucking wait a day.
One more fucking day.
He's like, no, we can't wait. I'm like, what the fuck? The characters were pretty well done though. The problem is, except for Hop, I hate Hop. Hop is
me too.
The worst. Hop is the worst.
He's the worst since what's his name in Wallace in fucking Sapphire and all that. I hate Wallace.
Wally?
I hate.
Why do you hate Wally?
I don't know. I just hate him.
What's your fucking problem with the little cancer kid?
What?
Did you not know?
When does he say he has cancer?
I mean, I assume he has cancer.
What merit?
Well, the fact that we know he's dying and has been bedridden for like 10 years, and he only recently managed to gain up enough strength to go on his Pokemon journey, and then you fucking crush his dreams and he goes back to live at his house.
I never once put that.
Did you not pay enough attention to Sapphire to know that? Yeah. He's like this little sick dying kid that like goes around and he's trying to make his best life, and then you break his fucking heart at the end of the game. It's brutal as shit.
Wow, I've played that game a lot, and I've never fucking put that together.
Well, maybe you're too busy hating on Lil Wally to realize he's got a really compelling narrative, and you're a fucking monster in that game. You're a monster in like all of the recent Pokemon games, for the record.
Yeah. Well,
like I don't think it ever gets worse than crushing Wally at the end of the game when he's like, I've spent my entire life in bed, but I have to give it one more go. Let's go, maid. And then you battle him, and he's like, "Oh, okay. I guess I'll give up being a Pokemon trainer, and I'll go back home in my bed."
Well, now that you put that into play, I feel like a dickhead for saying that.
Yeah, you should. And I'm like, fucking hell, Pokemon. There's also that scene in like X and Y where your rival has like lost you like 5 times.
Yeah.
And he like shows up on the bridge and he's like, "Hey, I gotta give this one last go." And then you fucking beat him, and he's not even like upset or anything. He just looks dejected and his head points down and he goes, "Yeah, that's what I thought would happen." And then he gives up being a Pokemon trainer.
Yeah. I remember that, yeah.
This is a theme in new Pokemon games where you beat your rival so bad they change fucking careers.
Not Gary. Not Gary. Gary never gave up.
What are you talking about? Gary becomes a Pokemon professor.
Well, but
he was the first one to give up.
I know, yeah. Not in our hearts. They brought him back in the anime, so I mean, he must have not given up.
As a Pokemon professor.
Did they? Oh, I don't know. I don't watch
that. Yes.
I just know they brought him back.
I know that because I just rewatched all of the Pokemon Sapphire anime.
Really?
I did. I don't want to talk about it. It was a miserable experience.
I thought so. I only I watch up to Orange Island and then I'm done. If I watch Pokemon.
I will talk about it in my new episode of Water whenever that comes out. Oh, I think did I release an episode of Water? I don't think I did. Maybe I did. I might have released an episode of Water.
I didn't get the update on my phone, so I don't know.
Yeah, maybe I didn't. I don't even know when I release things anymore.
That's fair. I never released stuff.
Oh, yeah, no, I did. Yeah, 3 weeks ago. Yeah, Water 11. 11 anime in the last milestone for a while. Oh, yeah, actually reminds me, I have recently completed my 750th anime.
I have not.
Okay. Well, anyway.
I completed 750 episodes of One Piece. That's a lot.
Wow, you are frozen on my screen, and I don't know why.
Oh. Maybe you should let it go.
Let it go. We can't sing that. Anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And you also do it to Hop, by the way. He also quits being a Pokemon trainer.
I hate Hop. Yeah.
Fuck Hop. Hop is so annoying.
Hop is honestly the worst.
I think Hop is the worst. The problem with Hop it's nothing to do with like his personality or anything. Well, it's a little to do with his personality. He's very pushy and way too energetic. But like, he's worse than fucking Brendan, who's sexist. But like, the problem with Hop is he like runs ahead of you and he's like, "I need to have a Pokemon battle." You fight Hop like 10 times throughout the course of the game. It's so annoying.
It's aggressive. It's almost egregious.
Yeah, and the problem is like Bidet and fucking Marnie are so much better than him.
Marnie's great. I did love Marnie.
Everybody loves Marnie.
Yeah, she was great. I thought she was a great character, but Hop could have just been not in the game. And I would.
Hop could go die in a fucking fire.
Tune in next week on Pokemon Sword and Shield or whatever they called the new one. I don't know. Journeys?
Who would win in a fight? SS4 Gogeta or fucking Hop? That's a fight I want to see.
Hop would win because he has all that energy.
He knows type advantage.
What's type advantage?
Uses flying against the fighting type.
Next month on Fight Club.
Oh shit! Fuck Hop.
Yeah. All right, let's move to our next one.
Oh yes, HuniePop 2. I feel like I just jacked your topic to rant about Sword and Shield.
No, that's fine. There was so that's the thing about some of my topics. Like, I didn't do much in the last month, so like I have these topics, but I don't have too much on them anyway. Just because it's a game they just announced anyway. So I figured I would go into a rant of Pokemon in general, and that's fine.
Okay,
I expect
so. HuniePop 2 Double Date is the sequel to HuniePop, and also, even though the developer said it wasn't canon, it also seems to be a sequel to Honeycam Studio because there are Honeycam Studio references. So, here's the basic plot of HuniePop 2. You are, in fact, playing the same character from HuniePop, and, as implied, the main character of Honeycam Studio. You are the same character. It is a direct sequel. About 2 years have passed, and what is basically happening is that somewhere in deep space, two powerful space pirates known as the Nymphojin have begun to awake. And they are going to travel all across the galaxy and basically fuck planets to death.
Neat.
And in order to save Earth, the Love Fairies decide that they need someone capable of dating two fucking demigods and wearing them out sexually simultaneously. Luckily, the main character of HuniePop is still around. So it kicks off with the introduction of the Nymphojin and the threat to the world, and it pulls up with your character, now living in a penthouse, and you just got out of a bed with a fucking Australian lingerie model.
Hell yeah.
And Q shows up, and she's like, damn, you are still doing it! And she's like, hey, we need your help to take out the Nymphojin. And you're like, I'm down. Let's do it right now. And she's like, no, hang on. We know that you're really good at banging chicks, but you've never banged two chicks simultaneously. And I'm like, that's hard to believe, but okay.
First time?
Yeah. So she's like, so we need to put you on a plane. We are getting... It's training arc time. HuniePop 2 Double Date is your training arc. This is the scene where, like, your character is going in for the big fight, and the whole game is the training for the big fight. So she puts you on a plane to the lovely tropical island of Ina de Puna. Where... you get to date returning cast members Jessie the porn star, now cripplingly depressed and no longer talking to her daughter, who you have also fucked already. Airline stewardess / fashion designer, also returning from the game, Lola. And continuing on with the theme of your character fucking your girlfriend's moms, Audrey's mom, Brooke, now shows up. You meet a psychic girl, a trans girl with like who waxes nostalgic for like 50s fashion. That lingerie model I mentioned, her cousin, because of fucking course you fuck her cousin. A stripper. with a cocaine addiction, a really, really horny Muslim girl. She's so horny. She is as horny as a Drakengard 3 character. It is absurd. And hang on, I have a list written down. Because I take notes for this game. That's the wrong one. Let's see. Oh, yeah, and a masseuse who works at the hotel. Yeah. And a fucking weeboo. I'm not even joking.
Well, when you
so
said,
there you go.
When you said the name of the island, I didn't think you were joking about anything that followed.
What?
When you said the name of the island, I didn't think anything that you would say after that would be a joke.
Okay. Fair enough. Anyway, yeah, it actually has, you do not get a date queue, but I heard they're going to add that in. But yeah, it has a pretty strong cast, actually. I'm not sure if I like it better than the cast of the original game. I would say it's probably on par. No, it's better. Some of those extra girls in the first game, fucking Momo. That's me a fucking kidding. Sorry, I have a fucking flashback every time I think of fucking Momo. Anyway, so I've heard a lot of people say on the forums, because I was looking for help, that HuniePop 2 seems to be a lot harder than the first game. It's not. It's like way easier than the first game. When it launched, it like locked certain ending scenes behind playing on higher difficulty, so I had to play the game on normal. Normal in HuniePop 2 I found to be like easier than the easiest difficulty in HuniePop 1. So I don't understand why people are... They add a lot of new mechanics, like baggage, which kind of affects how tokens work in the game, and also having to manage the girls' stamina meters and swapping between girls and their individual passion and sentiment meters. So it's definitely more complicated, but I found that the drops were a lot more reasonable in this one. And I feel like they tweaked how like date gifts work. So overall, I thought HuniePop 2 was actually a lot easier, except for the final fight, which was borderline goddamn impossible, because you had to date 10 girls in a row in 5 sets of 2. Each set of 2, you have to get 25,000 points for them. Each time it resets both girls' like positional sentiment and passions. So you have to, you have to re-earn sentiment and passion for both girls, and it only gives you 99 moves to do this. So it's 99 moves to date 10 girls to up to 25,000 points.
Interesting.
It's like it's pretty like normal to easy for the most part for most of the game, and then the final boss is just such a high difficulty spike. It's fucking ridiculous. And then at the end of the game, they lock, like, you have to beat the game 3 times to get all of the ending scenes. So I started fucking around with like a playthrough on easy mode now that you can get the other ending scenes in easy mode now. Easy mode is so easy.
Oh,
it's so easy. It's like effortless to do it. So that's HuniePop 2. Very fun game. You get to fuck space hookers.
Sack recommended. Yes, I do want to become famous. Thank you.
Assuming you are 18 years old.
Yes. 18 and up, because there is nudity in it.
There is censored, by the way. You can't censor it.
Oh.
You can play it censored.
But why?
You can also toggle between the censored and non-censored versions.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That's like in the Master Chief Collection. Now you can toggle between the old graphics and new graphics. I like that. I like features like that.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's really easy to do it. I highly recommend playing as a man, which I did for my second playthrough, because then you get all sets of CG. But they made it so you can toggle your gender in the menu now, so it really doesn't matter. You can also toggle whether Polly has a dick or not.
Neat.
Yeah.
Well, dicks and all.
Yeah. You do not see Polly's dick in this game, by the way. Just the pants bulge.
As it should be.
Yeah.
HuniePop. Get it. Was it
HuniePop 2, Double Date.
$20
Yep.
on Steam, something like that?
I didn't even look. I just bought it.
I've
been waiting for HuniePop 2 since it was announced. So, because I bought HuniePop, I pre-ordered HuniePop 1 when it came out. Before it even had a Steam listing, I pre-ordered it on HoneyDev's website. So,
that's a little bit better.
Yeah, it's $20. Yes. So I am an old school HuniePop. I was on the ground floor. HuniePop 1 is only $10.
Neat. So if those games are your bag, baby, pick them out.
They're everyone's bag.
Everyone's.
There's no one who is not into HuniePop.
I haven't played them.
Well, John, I feel like you need to rectify that. Take a lovely trip to the glorious island of Inadipuna and fuck all of your girlfriend's moms.
Every time you say
there is a humorous scene, there is a moment in that game where you're in a room with Jesse and Brooke, and I got asked, give me one of your secrets by, I think Jesse or something, and internally in my head I thought, I have fucked both of your daughters. I shouldn't say that, but there's a secret. I don't think Brooke would mind.
All right, HuniePop. What's next on the agenda?
That would be Persona 5.
What? Persona 5?
That's right. I conned John into talking about it. I'm going to go on a very long Persona rant.
I finally
actually, this is not my topic.
Yeah, it's actually mine. In my 1 month did not want to do it hiatus. I played Persona 5 because I wanted to.
Which version, by the way?
I played the original. I did not play Royal.
Okay, so you got the good experience. I will say, here's what I'll say. There are differences between Royal and the original Persona 5. Royal is the better version of the game in every way. The third semester is good, but it doesn't fit in with the rest of the game, is my problem with it. Yeah. So I think I think the best experience for Persona 5 is to just not do the third semester, but play Royal anyway.
Yeah, so when I was reading the two different versions online, and when it came to Strikers, the sequel, they said that the third semester isn't canon, so I was like, I don't really see the need for it. And Persona 5 is free right now if you have PS Plus. So I was like, I'm not going to spend $60 on a game if I could just play it for free, and that stuff's not even canon anyways. So that's why I went for that version of the game anyways.
The canonicity of the special editions for Persona games are often contentious.
Yeah.
Fess is generally considered to be canon, but Golden and Royal are iffy on their extra content. Because no one ever references the extra content for Royal or Golden. So, but they do reference Fess.
Oh.
So Fess is the canon version of Persona 3.
Fair. I love this game. I spent 100 hours in it and didn't even realize. I was up until 4 a.m. most nights playing this game. I lost a lot of sleep. I don't. Can we talk spoilers? Everyone's played the game. I think. I don't know.
I'm willing to go full spoilers. Yeah. I'll for the VOD watchers. There will eventually be a chapter timestamp to skip this conversation. So
yeah. So spoilers. Spoilers a hoe. I saw the twist coming from a mile away, and I've never played Persona 4.
Okay, interesting.
So when it came, so I'm talking about Igor. Since we are talking
Mm-hmm.
spoilers, he turns
Yeah, and
out to be,
Yeldy.
yeah, he turns out to be God.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever his name is, I cannot pronounce
Yelled
it.
about.
That one. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I when it came to that point of the game, I was just like, huh,
A
that
god,
may,
for the record.
yeah. I was like, this.
That it's an important distinction.
I saw this coming because like the way he doesn't really hint at it throughout the game, but like kind of like there's little bits and pieces if you pay attention. And I paid the fuck attention to this game because I knew it was a long ass game. I knew it was obviously a story based game, so I didn't. There's only like certain stuff that I skipped over, like some like the. Can I just say I hate Ryuji? I think he's like the worst fucking character.
Really?
I did not like him at all. I skipped all his fucking dialogue like, and I'd never hung out with him just because like I had.
Oh no, Ryuji's cool. Ryuji's the best bro that Persona game has ever made.
I don't know. I'm playing. I'm gonna play it a second time on New Game Plus and do his stuff. Maybe I'll have a better feeling about him. But like, I don't know. I like just after I got Yusuke, I was like, I don't really care about Yuji anymore because I just like Yusuke way more.
Yusuke is more useful than Ryuji anyway.
Yeah, he's way more useful. He's also voiced by Matt Mercer in the English version of the game, and I love Matt Mercer, so I just immediately gravitated. And Yusuke is one of my favorite anime characters from Yu Yu Hakusho. So
Junpei can eat a fucking dick and die. Fuck Junpei.
is that from 4 or 3?
It's from 3. I
Okay.
fucking hate Junpei. I fucking hate Junpei. Fuck Junpei. God, now I'm having fucking flashbacks to answer. Fuck Junpei.
Gravitated. Gravitated. Did I say that wrong? I meant gravitated.
I have no idea. I'm still mad about Junpei.
Barely anyone in Persona 4 or 5 has a real. That was so. Since I played the game, like I've been watching a lot of like content, and a lot of people do say that. Yeah. I thought like from this being my only Persona game and my first Persona game playing wise, I loved it. Like I thought like not knowing about the other ones, like obviously if I went back and played like P4, which I might do it because eventually I'll eventually just get like a PS Vita emulator and just play it. Maybe I'll have a different opinion on 5 afterwards, but for like my first experience with the game, like I thought it was fine. Like I just for whatever reason did not care about Ryuji. He was like the only character I really like didn't really give a fuck about hanging out with. Like I loved Yusuke. I loved An. She was fun.
An is best girl.
An was definitely best girl. She was the one I dated immediately until I was like, wait, you can date the teacher? And then I dated both of them because I had no chill.
Who is the other one?
I dated the teacher.
Kawakami.
Yeah.
Yes! Yes!
And, you have a high challenge for all games. Play Revelations, Persona, and Persona 2. I eventually do want to play all of them, Nate. That's one of my things I do want to do. I do want to play all of them. Everything in the Shin Megami Tensei saga. I want to play all those.
Persona is not a Shin Megami Tensei game. It is a Mega 10 game. Shin Megami Tensei is a different series.
Yeah, I want to play both series. I should say then, cause, yeah, yeah, because what was it? Is Tensei 2 is like the really hard one or whatever. I think is it 2. I don't know.
Probably 3. SMT is generally considered to be harder than Persona.
Yeah, and you know me, I like to play hard games for like no good reason.
Yeah.
PS4 Ultimate is the only Persona game I played so far.
Continue.
Oh, what was I saying? Is the auto battle?
Yeah. SMT2 I think is supposed to be really easy actually.
Maybe it's 3 then. I don't remember.
Yeah, Nocturne is supposed to be hard.
Yeah, Nocturne. That's the one. Yeah.
SMT are all considered hard games, just in general, like as opposed to Persona games.
Oh yeah. Well. Yeah. But character wise, like, I thought Haru was cool. She had like a solid arc in the game. Futaba was like one of the ones that I really liked, but I was like, I can't.
You were cutting out so hard for me. God damn.
Am I cutting out on stream too, or?
Probably not. I don't understand why you cut out for me.
That's super weird. Yeah, I thought you were thinking about Squirrel. But yeah, Haru was cool. Futaba's cool too. I really liked hanging out with her and like her arc she had, like how she was like a shut in and all that stuff, and like getting her out. Excuse me. Getting her out in public and all that was really fun. Like Yusuke was fun to hang around with. I really loved doing that. Morgana was kind of just you have to hang out with the cat, so he was there.
Morgana is there.
Yeah, Morgana's there. You're both coming through Green Cross Board. Fuck Morgana. Fair. Morgana was plot, so he had to be there. I really liked.
Morgana is the series' second best mascot.
Everyone hates Teddy, I hear.
Fuck your god. Oh.
That's from what I hear. General consensus on the internet is everyone hates fucking Teddy.
Fuck Teddy.
Is the worst talking cat in the entire franchise. There. Probably out of all of them, like Morgana and Ryuji are my like two least favorites. I love Makoto too. I liked playing as her. Like my main team throughout the entire game was on Makoto and Yusuke, and obviously Ren / Joker / John because I named him John. He's no goon too. But I can honestly say like I got sucked into that game like hardcore. I didn't really figure out like what I needed to do until like 2 months in when I actually was like I should learn what I need to do with like social skills and stuff.
Oh my god, you were 2 months in. Oh
yeah, I was like I was like 2 months in.
You didn't max them all, did you?
I maxed everything except for guts and knowledge by the end of the game.
No, I meant social links.
Oh, social links. No, I did not. I really fucked up on that. Like Ryuji was at like everyone was at like a 5. Like I think I maxed out on the teacher, Takamaki, Morgana because it just does it automatically. Like,
because you have to. Igor also, yeah.
Yeah, Igor. Yeah, basically all the ones that are automatic. I did. I got close on. The shoji player, I can't remember her name off the top of my head.
Hifumi Toga.
Yeah. Yusuke was also at an 8 when I ended too. Yeah, basically everyone was pretty high. Futaba was at a 6. Haru was unfortunately at like a 3 because I started her shit late too. Yeah. The fucking
Sikame.
Yeah.
Sikame.
Yeah, the doctor.
I knew it hit my ear wrong when you said it. I'm like, no.
And the funny thing is, I just finished this game like literally like 5 days ago. No, not even.
Yeah.
Wednesday. Because I beat it, then immediately downloaded Strikers and started playing that. But we're not going to talk about Strikers today. Because I was like, I need to play the sequel now. So
yeah. Well, I want to do a first playthrough for Strikers somewhere in like probably April or something.
It's good. I like it.
Yeah.
Hifumi is the only girl in the game that I actually want to befriend. Yeah, she was cool. Like she has like some of the most useful fucking skills to get too. The other the speech guy, I can't remember his name too.
Yoshida.
Yeah, he gives you some pretty chill stuff too. Like I the only person I couldn't figure out how to befriend was the kid in the arcade. For whatever reason,
Shinya.
For whatever reason, I couldn't get the dialogue option and like get that arc going for whatever reason. So he was the only one I couldn't talk to.
Shinya is super useful. He so you didn't do Shinya's social link then?
No, so like I did the game without guides as much as I could to avoid spoilers, just because sometimes I get into the guides and I get too far and I'm like, fuck, I just ruined that for me. So I didn't want to look at his stuff and like possibly ruin anything. I'm doing a second playthrough. I'm gonna do that one live to get more into the stuff that I missed too, and because I want to play it again as soon as possible because I had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, you'll have a lot easier time on a second playthrough. It gets a lot easier in New Game Plus.
Uh, I did not die once in my entire playthrough, and I played it on the second highest difficulty just because I wanted to stroke my own dick for whatever
Huh.
reason. Yeah,
Hard,
yeah, hard. Yeah, because there was hard and there's the other one.
like it's either lunatic or madness. I think.
Yeah, something like that. Just because like I heard those the games are kind of easy, so I was like, I kind of want a little bit of challenge. Um, the game mechanics were very similar to a lot of shit that I've already played, so I was like, okay, this will like not be it, not be anything.
Yeah, it's really well done as far as like the UI and the combat. It's very intuitive.
Yeah, and like
Especially if you're a returning vet.
yeah, once you get on like Futaba too, and like start leveling her up and start like unlocking some of her skills and stuff like that, it kind of like almost breaks the game at some points. Like you'll get into a random encounter in Mementos, and it'll immediately just go to like the fucking um
The windscreen.
yeah, basically, and you're like, okay,
Like, we've ambushed you, and then Futaba's like, I think we have ambushed you.
yeah, yeah. Which I got a lot of those encounters. Like as soon as I locked that, like it was almost like every like 5 encounters like would immediately just go to like the all out screen or whatever, and I was like, cool, awesome. You get Shinya from the side. Oh, okay. Yeah, because I kept trying to talk to him, like I would.
It's a really annoying side quest, by the way. You have to do it like you have to go to Mementos at least twice to do it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I tried to do as many of the side quests as I could too, but there was like some parts that would like just progress and you couldn't do shit too, which I was like, fuck. Because like I didn't know they were coming up too, so I was like, okay, so I'll do this shit this day, whatever. I didn't get to that stuff. Like I didn't start doing the teacher stuff until like August, just because I didn't know you had to talk to her outside of the student council room or some shit, or like the library or some shit. And by the time I was like, oh, I should go do this, it was like already summer vacation.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah, so I get really fucked up on a lot of social links, but like now that I know that shit going into like round 2, like I'll max that shit out like no problem.
What interests me is you're calling them social links and not confidants.
Oh yeah, that's because that's from P4, yeah, right.
Well, no, I mean, and P3 also. Usually, people that start with 5 say confidants, and that's how you tell that they started with 5.
Oh, I like they to me they're social links, like regardless of what P5 calls them, it just makes more sense. Confidant just sounds like I don't know. It just it feels like.
Well, you haven't played any other personas though, right?
I haven't, but like since I've gotten into this, like I've kind of been like like looking into the other ones because I want to play them at some point. So I think I just picked up that terminology just from watching some of the stuff on P4 and stuff like that. I don't have any spoilers for any of the games. Like I've just watched some like people talk about the games like spoiler free, just because I'm trying not to ruin these games. If they say the fuck is socially, that's fair. Yeah, and confident always sounded like even playing the game, I thought that it's like a weird terminology for it. So I just been calling it social.
Yeah, like. A lot of like if the people if 5 isn't your first Persona game, you'll usually just call it a fucking social link. Like my first Persona game was 4, and I just say fucking social link.
Yeah. Yeah, I really love the game. Like I can't wait to do my second playthrough. The ending was incredibly long for no good reason. But it was just dumb easy because it basically tells you how to beat the final boss without even trying. You just like take out the gun. No, you can't use the melee skills in the book, so don't do it. Okay. I love the ending. I thought the ending was pretty chill too.
It gets even better to like more like if you've done every social link in the game.
Yeah.
Because everyone is there to cheer you on. It's great.
Yeah, that's what I kind of like. I was like, fuck. That's why I want to do a second playthrough so I can like get the better ending and stuff too. Because I think I got like the medium ending or some shit. I'm not sure, but
no,
I'm not. I got
no. If you fought Yeldy, you got the good ending.
Okay.
You just didn't get the ending with everyone there. helping you out and cheering you on.
Yeah, because I just got the ending where they just ride off into the sunset or whatever. It's the ending. I wasn't sure.
Yeah, that's the ending.
It is the ending. Okay, so I got the good.
Did it? Yeah, you get the bad ending. Here's what I tell people when they get the bad ending: don't make a deal with don't make a deal with the devil, and don't sell out your friends, and you won't get the bad ending. And I guess fucking succeed at the palaces, because you also get bad endings if you fail, but I feel like that one went without saying.
Yeah, I wanted to see. I never failed the palace. Like I never got past like the days. I always made sure to finish them like 5 days beforehand. But I wanted to test it out and see what happens. But now that I know you just get a bad ending from it, I'm like, okay.
You get a fucking game over is what happened.
No, yeah, I was like, what happens? But I was like, I'm not gonna test the theory because I don't want to replay all that shit again. Oh my, fucking bugging out, but whatever. Yeah, I'm looking forward to doing a second playthrough on stream of that when I can.
Yeah. So about figuring out the Yeldy twist, people figured that twist out from the release trailer.
Yeah, because of the voices, right? Because they had different voices.
Yeah, because they changed voices. There's also one other key line that you would only pick up on if you're a Persona vet, which is that when you first enter the Velvet Room, Igor, with the new voice, says, "Welcome to my Velvet Room." Igor does not own the Velvet Room.
Okay.
And if you've played every previous Persona game, Igor says, "Welcome to the Velvet Room."
Okay.
And in fact, when he comes back, he even says, "Welcome to the Velvet Room." So when the trailer drops and they have a new voice for Igor and he's looking just slightly different and he says, "Welcome to my Velvet Room," people are like, "That's not fucking Igor." And to answer your possible question of who owns the Velvet Room, do you know how occasionally in cutscenes they'll show a blue butterfly floating through the screen in front of Ren?
Yeah.
That butterfly owns the Velvet Room.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's Philemon.
Yeah, they don't explain that at all in the game.
Yeah, you have to play the first few Persona games. He kind of gives up.
Yeah.
He shows up less and less over time. But how did Yelda even break in? Philemon should have popped in and said, "Excuse me, what the fuck are you doing?" Well, I think that's actually a testament to how fucking powerful Yeldabaoth was. Like, other than like Narlithotep, Yeldabaoth is well. Honestly, I think Yeldabaoth could probably give Narlithotep a run for his money. Nyx is the strongest Persona villain, but from Persona 3.
Yeah, it's really funny because like I almost spoiled it for myself because I was like I always look at the voice cast too, and it obviously says Igor slash Yeldabaoth, and then Igor's another one. Because I was like,
yeah, that's how Arceus got spoiled, I think.
Yeah, because the guy who voices Igor actually voices Jiraiya in the English stuff of Naruto, and I was like, that sounds like Jiraiya, so I had to double check, and I almost got spoiled, but
yeah,
I caught myself because I was like, stop looking at the voice cast, you dumb shit.
Yeah.
So I managed to go 100 hours into this game and not get spoiled once. So I'm for a game that's what 5 years old. Yay.
2016 was the Japanese release.
I did good.
But yeah, by the way, as for the statement of playing earlier Persona games, I started with 4, and then went on to 3, and then 5, and I've since gone back and played like every mainline Persona except for Eternal Punishment, which is, I guess, coming up on stream soon. And 5 is by far my favorite. So
it was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun with it.
4 is an overrated piece of shit. So
it looks like shit because it's on the Vita, and that's like kind of one of the things I'm like, they should.
it's also on Steam now.
Oh, is it on Steam? It doesn't look better though, does it?
Yeah, they actually, Atlas, to make sure it runs properly, remastered it like in-house.
Okay, I'll play it on PC then. Because like when I was like looking at it, everyone's like, it's on Vita. I'm like, it looks like a PS3.
Yeah, no, it was a really big thing. Like they didn't even announce it; they just dropped it on Steam, and everyone like fucking went mental. So
I'm gonna assume it's just Golden that's on PC then, right?
Yeah, it's Golden.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Golden.
Whatever. I'll just play it.
You get to meet everyone's favorite character, Marie.
I'm gonna safely assume it's no one's favorite character.
No. I think it's the guy who created Marie's favorite character, but I don't think it's anyone else's.
That's fair. But yeah, I'm super excited to play this again. I really loved it. I definitely want to go, and when I replay it, like obviously do the quests I didn't do, work on the friendships I didn't do, and all the social links and stuff like that. And maybe even get the bad ending. Just see what it is.
Which one?
Whichever one I get.
All of them.
All of them.
Yeah, Persona 5 is probably my favorite JRPG of all time. So, and I played a fuck ton of JRPGs.
It's definitely up there for me. I can't put it in my favorite because Chrono Trigger will never ever be beaten, in my opinion. That game is like JRPG perfection, and it's like 20 something years old now. I can literally play that game over and over again. And
Chrono Trigger's good. I also streamed Chrono Trigger.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite games. Then I don't know, but P5 is definitely up there for me. It's definitely my top 5. If I were to do a top 5, it would probably be like 3 or 4. Yeah.
P5 is currently on, because I have the favorite search series. Everyone forgets about that until I have to review a game. P5 is actually number 2 on that list right now. So it is in the top 10, and it is number 2 after Metal Gear Solid, the game I have undoubtedly played more times than any other game.
I feel like that with Mega Man X1, 2, and 3.
When I found Metal Gear Solid on the PSN, I beat it 3 times in 3 days.
Jesus Christ.
Like, I found it on PSN, and I'm like, I'll beat Metal Gear Solid. I'll beat Metal Gear Solid again. I'll beat Metal Gear Solid again. So, yeah.
That's like me when I learned to use speedrun. I'll just beat it like 4 times in a week, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, like when I learned the Super Mario 64 speedrun, I beat it like 5 times in one day. I'm like, yeah. Alright, so that's Persona 5, which actually is a good segue into our next topic.
Yes. The new series that by the way, we talked about making this a series in like the second podcast. I found that out while doing chapters. This was a very, very early concept, and then we've just now done it, which is Fight Club.
Bye-bye!
The whole listing of Fight Club is posted on my Discord, where I am taking fight suggestions. If you have any fight suggestions, please read the rules, which no one has. I absolutely know they have not.
I'm also one of those people.
Because only Arceus followed them.
Not even the co-host of the show read them, because he's very good at reading.
Yes.
I will also be making a separate thing in my Discord for this as well, just because we have other people that aren't in the sacrabalic Discord, so I'm gonna post it up and post the same rules, which I will read. I promise.
Yes. Please copy and paste them.
Yeah, I will copy and paste and actually read.
They're very simple. Just like name 2 characters, like minimum 2 characters, with the conditions of the fight. We'll be assuming that, like, we'll take the version of the character that we're most familiar with, if one is not specified, or the one that is the most popular if we are not terribly familiar with them, or we're like equally familiar with both versions. And we simply assume that they're fighting under neutral conditions without time to prepare for the fight itself.
Which in this case we
So,
went with which Ren did we go with for this one?
so actually, Arctic was the one who suggested this, and it was very specific. He did a great job. Peak Kingdom Hearts 2 Sora
Yeah.
versus Peak Joker with Satanalial persona. So I think that actually says everything we need to know. It's Kingdom Hearts 2 Sora, so we don't need to worry about like Kingdom Hearts 3 Sora feats. And then we have Joker at his tippy top tippers with Satanalial, which actually goes without saying because Joker with Satanalial is his peak anyway.
Yeah, which I did not get in the game. We did actually. I didn't talk about any of the personas, but there's no time for that anymore. But whatever.
There's no time. It's over.
Lian Sheed was my favorite, and I used her the entire game. I don't care.
Renan Shi?
Yeah, she was my favorite. I leveled her up to 60 just because I loved having her in my party.
I'm a Mothman guy. Not for practical reasons, obviously,
yeah,
but because I love Mothman.
Mothman
is adorable.
I was like, that's like psychotic Butterfree, and I love it. But I'm going to fuse you into something better.
Yeah, he's not great. I would love in Royal you can like upgrade your personas. I would love to make a max level Mothman. Like an overly elaborate bullshit Mothman. First off, he's adorable. Second off, excuse me, he's like one of the only American persona.
Really?
Yeah, like if you like go through persona options in the game, like we have the Cthulhu mythos and we have Mothman.
Oh, so, like okay. I thought that's what you meant. I thought you meant like he's only in the American version of the game.
No. What I mean is like the country of origin of Mothman is America, and other than like the Cthulhu ones, they're like the Lovecraftian horror ones. These like the only one. So we have Cthulhu, and we have cute little Mothman. We have cute little Mothman.
Mate, I really wanted to get rid of her, but I don't know. It's like I just like loved her, you know. It was like when I kept Bulbasaur, like the entirety of Pokemon, just because I love Bulbasaur. But I understand that, but I just loved her, you know. She was like my first, and I was like, oh, you know, it was my first love in the game. So
Renan Shi is not mid tier.
Yeah, she's like pretty. You get her in
the. She's like like level 20, I think.
Yeah, you get her in Madarame's palace, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then after I got her, I'm like, you're gonna be with me till the end of the road, baby.
I'm taking you to the end game.
I did.
Like, you know, I'm a fairy succubus, right? And you're like, yeah. I didn't, and I don't care.
I don't give a shit. I leveled up to level 60 for no. I even the high tier ones, like I was like, go right into her. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I sacrificed Lilith and I gave her power there. I was like,
in Royal, you can like there's like a trick you can do to upgrade any persona to just max its stats. And you can also like reverse fuse, so you can fuse into a Renan Shi, and then you can like max out the stats. And you can use like spell cards from Yusuke to create some bullshit arrangements.
Yeah. Fun fact: I used one skill card because I needed to level out the wardens. That's the only time I used skill card.
To level up what?
The wardens.
Oh, you actually did strength. Wow.
Yeah, it was super. It was one of the things like I would just do like when I went to go level up my guys. It was just because I'm like, this seems super easy to do. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was like one of the only guys I used just because like some of them were like kind of stupid, but they did it.
Yeah, you need to do it for Seth.
Yeah.
Well, you don't need to do it for Seth, but you're a fucking lunatic if you do Seth the right way.
So yeah, Seth was in my party. His second favorite Bae.
After I get to a certain point, I just use the ones I like.
Yeah, it's
like I keep Alice in my party for no fucking reason other than I like Alice.
Yeah, I had a snake lady. I don't remember her name. The one that looks like Gozer but with snakes.
Yeah, I don't know who Gozer is.
From Gozer?
I had a better chance of guessing Snake Lady.
Oh. They look like Gozer, that's why. Anyways, Fight Club.
Anyway, Fight Club. So specifically, peak Kingdom Hearts 2 Sora versus peak Joker with Satanaliel persona is what Arcec has specified. So I think we should start by just going down general listings for what these characters are capable of. I think we're probably good to start with like attack potency on this one.
Yeah.
So Sora. And we're not going to be like, I'm not going to get into the math on any of this or like get super technical. I just want to have fun with it. I don't want to like crunch numbers. I actually would argue that when you start crunching numbers and like being like, well, this character moved this fast, so that's 3.52% the speed of light, and they did 500 kilojoules of energy with this punch, that's fucking stupid, and I guarantee you no author has ever done the math on their goddamn characters. It literally does not matter. But anyway, yeah, so Sora, what we know Sora can do, I think his most impressive feats of like actual attacks that he does that gives us a rough ballpark of what we're dealing with is in Kingdom Hearts 2 towards the end, he like cuts up, like he just starts cutting up skyscrapers.
He does in fact.
So we know he can cut a skyscraper in half and then launch it hundreds of miles per hour at a fucking city-sized dragon.
Can do that. He can do that.
So that's pretty fucking impressive. So we know he's building level with his fucking attacks for surezies. I don't see any reason to believe he's much stronger than that, but being able to effortlessly throw buildings around is pretty fucking impressive, I would say.
That is pretty impressive.
We know that Sora has magic, but it's mostly supplemental for him, and we don't really know how much damage it does.
Yeah, because Donald does all the healing. I can be funny sometimes.
Yeah, he has magic. We don't really know how much damage his magic does. Some, like, it can hurt fairly durable characters, but it seems to do almost nothing compared to throwing buildings at them.
Yeah, correct.
So it's less than building level, at least, with his magic. He's not a wizard.
It's more of a mid combo type deal. Like I would use for Faraga or whatever, like the spinny one, like just to keep my combos going, basically.
Yeah, for sure. So contrast that to Ren, who let's actually address the elephant in the room about technicalities with peak Ren. For one, Ren's abilities are based on perception in the collective unconscious, so technically his weapons aren't real, but as long as you perceive them as real, they function as real. In neutral territory, we're going to assume that they're functioning as actual weapons.
They somehow meet up in mementos. We'll say that.
Yeah. Well, no, neutral territory, just straight neutral.
So straight neutral. Okay.
We'll assume that his items are at least functionally real.
So if you're talking about a neutral territory, I got the perfect thing for you. Hold on 1 second. There you go.
Are you gonna paint us a picture? Okay.
Yeah.
7-Eleven, the most neutral of all territories.
Yeah. Which I can't help but laugh when I see the check out Koi Savoy Boy. He did this drawing for me in a few hours, so yeah, check that out. But this is neutral territory.
Yes. When I picture neutral territory, I usually just picture a gigantic fucking white void.
Yeah, 7-Eleven.
Because at a certain level of power, standing on a planet becomes not neutral territory.
That's true, yeah. like the hyperbolic time chamber, we'll say.
Yeah, well, the hyperbolic time chamber actually inflicts you with extreme conditions of freezing cold and biting wind, but well, not the inside of the hyperbolic time chamber. But anyway, neutral territory does not matter. So we'll assume that like Ren's items functionally are real in this scenario. Other thing we're going to have to assume with Ren is that technically Ren, if he was aware of the fight, could just spec all of his persona to just make him immune to literally everything Sora can do. So, but without prep time, like the persona that he normally uses that we can guess is he's often shown using like Beelzebub and Alice, Yoshitsune, and occasionally Mara. Those seem to be like his big ones. And Sora is probably not only susceptible to death attacks, I would damn near argue he is weak to them. Because of how easily the Kingdom Hearts games he gets fucking offed by an instant death. But R6 specified with Satanaliel, so we're actually going to say on this, I will assume that Ren cannot change his persona from Satanaliel.
That would make sense, yeah.
Because otherwise he could swap to Alice and just drop a die for me, and then Sora would just kick it instantly.
Yeah.
There's no way Sora survives an Alice's die for me. So he's stuck with Satanaliel. His weapons are functionally real. Now, at the end of Persona 5, Ren is functionally the god of the collective unconscious, which means he could theoretically delete Sora from existence. Every time we've seen similar abilities be utilized throughout the Persona series, it has taken, at least even in the case of Narlithotep, like a day to actually pull that off. And Narlithotep is pretty beefy. Yeldy, it took a few months. Izanami, it took a few months. So we're going to assume that he simply does not have the time to erase Sora from existence.
That's fair.
For this. So it's just a straight fight. No nuking someone out of existence. But anyway, as for Ren's striking abilities, he owns a gun and a knife, and sometimes these could be made out of demons and have special effects. But they basically do as much damage as a gun and a knife do.
Yeah.
So...
Which Sora has proven that he can dodge lightning, like fast...
we will get into mobility in a minute, because I'm actually going to contest both characters' abilities to dodge lightning.
Okay.
But we do know that Sora can get shot with a musket and survive.
That is true. He has been... he's been shot a couple times.
But also, we'll get into that when we talk about character durability. More specifically, the damage that Ren's weapons do are negligible to Sora. And I'm going to be honest, when we get into durability, we'll talk about how he wouldn't fucking hit Sora with these anyway.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
On the other hand, unlike Sora, Ren is not a melee fighter, he's a caster. And that's when we get into the shit with this.
Yeah.
Because to figure out how much damage Ren can do with a spell, it is a turn-based RPG, so it's a little bit harder. I think we can make a fair estimate. In Persona 4 Ultimax, Erebus, the manifestation of humanity's desire to die, is described as being able to rip mountains towards the heavens. So it's a mountain-sized creature that can grab a mountain and just fling it upward. Elizabeth was capable of grabbing it by the finger, flinging it into the air, teleporting it to the moon, and then in one attack cutting it in half with Thanatos. And the reason I bring up how effortlessly Elizabeth is able to fling a fucking mountain and then cut it in half is because Elizabeth is what is known as a ruler of power, or one of those who govern power. And the final boss of of Persona 5 tore one in fucking half. He literally ripped Lavenza into two. And even if Lavenza is half as strong as her older sister Elizabeth, that would still put the amount of damage that Yeldabaoth is implied to output significantly above anything Sora has ever seen or dealt with or could do. And even more to that, we know that, speaking on the subject of Yeldabaoth, height-wise, Yeldy is tall enough to surpass the Stratus cloud layer, which is 6,000 feet, which means that Yeldabaoth is the size of a medium-sized mountain. What we do know is that Ren's attacks without Satanaliel are capable of damaging Yeldabaoth, a medium-sized mountain, which means that even without his strongest persona, Ren's magical attacks are bare minimum mountain level. Mm-hmm. And with Satanaliel and its most powerful attack, Sinful Shell, it was able to one-shot a fucking god. So when we're talking about attack potency, Sora sucks at magic, Ren sucks at physical, Sora can throw a building, Ren can blow a fucking mountain up. It's not close.
That's fair.
It's nowhere near close. So that brings us on to mobility. And this is where Sora excels like crazy. Now, it's hard to quantify how fast either character is moving. You mentioned that they both can dodge lightning. So here's the thing. We don't know how fast the lightning is moving. Lightning moves at an inconsistent speed based on the amount of energy in it and what medium it is traveling through. It's fast, but we don't know how fast. It can even actually move relatively slowly. We know that they can both dodge lightning, but like Goku could dodge lightning at the end of Z just by anticipating it. We don't know if that's how they're dodging it. They can also both dodge like bullets and lasers and like light attacks. But the thing is, like, when a real human dodges a bullet, you're not really dodging the bullet in midair. You're dodging where the bullet was pointed. Like, you're just moving out of the trajectory. So that doesn't really say that either of them are faster than bullets either. I don't think we can assume that. Sora seemingly can dodge lasers, but I would make the argument that at the end of Kingdom Hearts 2, first off, Xemnas' attacks are not made of light. They are actually made of nothing. We have no fucking idea what the speed of nothing is, but I would argue they function more like plasma beams.
Yeah, that's a fair assumption, yeah.
Yeah. They can even freeze in air, so I would most certainly not assume that either character is FTL. So we will go with what we kind of know about their speeds, which is that Ren can move fast enough to appear as a blur. The speed of which that takes changes based on your proximity to the object and the size of the object. From what I've managed to do from cursory web searches, he's probably moving somewhere between 300 to 500 miles per hour. Yo, Mac here. What's up?
What's up, Mac?
Yeah, in order to move at that speed, he's probably moving somewhere between 300 to 500 miles per hour, and we know that he needs to pause before performing an action at that speed, so he can't move consistently at that speed. Like, when he goes to run up an enemy and, like, rip its mask off, he needs to, like, briefly pause before he stops. So he can move at that speed, and he can kind of fight at that speed, but he can't stay consistently at that speed, and I think that's worth noting.
Mm-hmm.
Sora, contrastly, can move fast enough to be invisible, and seemingly can move so fast that he appears to teleport.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously that would put him significantly faster than Ren. I would say Sora is probably supersonic, like bare minimum, like twice as fast as Ren. If I hazard to guess. It also, contrasting to Ren, we know that when Sora can not only maintain his invisible movement speed, but he is able to act and react at those speeds. Because when he fights the Samurai Nobody, they're able to exchange blows at those speeds, and when Sora fights Sephiroth, they're able to exchange blows during those speeds, and Sora is able to land 8 attacks on Sephiroth in the span of the two just crossing each other's paths while both being invisible. So Sora is so much faster than Ren. We are kind of talking about Death Battle. As for, like, individual movement techniques, we know that, like, Sora can move so fast he's in... We know that Ren can move so fast he's a blur. We know Sora can move so fast he's invisible. We know that Ren has to pause when he's moving at that speed to perform actions. We know that Sora can continuously move and through actions at those speeds. We know that Ren can hop across buildings. We know Sora can hop across skyscrapers. We know that Ren has a grappling hook. We know that Sora can levitate like 50 feet into the air. We know that Ren is out of movement techniques. We know that Sora can fucking fly.
He can fucking fly. He can 100% fly.
Comparing the movement between the two characters
Sora wins!
Not cool. It's not close.
Sora wins. He a fast boy.
He is, mobility is Sora's gimmick. Talking about durability, we know that Sora can take getting hit with a fucking building to the face. Oh yeah, also talking about Sora's mobility, he's able to deflect an omnidirectional laser blast shot at him continuously for like half a minute. So
that is true.
But yeah, as for durability, Sora can take a fucking building to the face.
He can. And he has.
Pretty impressive. I actually was not able to find a clip of seeing if Sora could take the city block-sized energy beam from Xemnas at the end of Kingdom Hearts 2, and I genuinely couldn't remember. But I'm willing to just say he can and get on with it, because I genuinely do not think that even if he can't take a city block-sized energy beam, it will not make a difference in this fight.
No.
Because we've already discussed that Ren's attacks are mountain level anyway.
Mm-hmm.
As for Ren's durability,
Yeah, they're not automated.
As for Ren's durability, we know that Ren can take attacks from Yeldabaoth, who, again, even if he is the ability of tearing a ruler of power in half, even if that one is half as strong as Elizabeth, still puts him at city level, but obviously, Yeldabaoth is implied to bare minimum be mountain level. I mean, he was able to force his way into the Velvet Room and, fuck up Igor and Lavenza.
Yeah.
So, I don't think, even if we just say he's city level, the fact that Ren can take attacks from him is still much higher durability than Sora. That's ignoring that Satanaliel's abilities, for what it works is that makes Ren immune to light and dark damage, and he takes half damage from all other damage sources. So Sora would be doing half damage to him regardless, even not acknowledging the fact that Sora would barely be doing any damage to him anyway with his attacks. And that's ignoring the fact that with Satanaliel at full power, Ren is able to take a shot from Rays of Control, which is Yeldabaoth's strongest attack, and suffer 0 damage whatsoever. So I actually question whether Sora could physically damage Ren, period.
He does take that hit. He does take that hit.
It blocks the hit. Yeah. There is 0 damage taken from it. From a bare minimum city, more likely mountain plus level entity, just nothing.
Yeah. I love that. That's a good part.
Yeah. Intelligence. As far as combat experience, Sora has so much more combat experience. It's crazy. He's been training since childhood. Ren's combat teachers involve a cat, a girl who plays shogi, kind of, and an elementary schooler.
Yeah.
So, Sora has been taught by the man who taught Hercules.
Yeah, he has, and Yen Sid.
Yeah, as far as learning combat techniques, Sora can learn a combat technique that his enemy is performing in the middle of combat. Ren is a fast learner, but it takes him a few months. As far as general intelligence goes, Sora is often portrayed to be a fucking idiot.
Yeah, Ren takes
on the other hand. He's really good at combat, and he has proficiency in a shit ton of weapon types, but, straight up, he is a dumbass.
Sounds like someone's favorite anime character.
Goku?
Yeah, he's an idiot.
Yeah, he is an idiot. Whereas Ren is often portrayed to be quite intelligent, generally. As far as like stamina goes, we know that Sora is capable of entering a computer, fighting a horde of Heartless, defeating the leading control program of the computer, leaving the computer, fighting a member of Organization 13, killing a member of Organization 13, and then going on to fight 1,000 Heartless by himself with minimal effort.
He did do that. That's one of my favorite parts of the game.
Yeah, no, it's an amazing part of the game.
I love that
Ren's stamina, Ren gets fucking tired from regular exercise.
He has to take a little nappy. Unless you get that special massage. Then you can keep going.
As far as magic goes, Sora can cast, if he's lucky, 5 spells in a row without just completely tuckering himself out. Ren can cast way more. So, weirdly, none of their stats are anywhere close to each other in any level at any point. As for special abilities, Sora can unlock shit. He can unlock anything he wants, and he can relock anything he wants. Even shit that doesn't seem like you should be able to lock and unlock it, he can lock.
He does have a key.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, and it's a skeleton key. It literally unlocks anything.
Well, you can get that in Persona. You can get the ethereal lockpick. So technically, they have the same ability.
Well, that is a lockpick.
Yeah.
But also, I think it's going to be pretty hard to make the claim that the eternal lockpick of Ren's can lock the heart of a planet.
It cannot.
Yeah. So, Ren's special ability is that he can perceive hidden objects or objects that are moving so fast they're invisible. So get fucked Sora's ability to be invisible, I guess. Ren can see you anyway because he has third eye.
He does have third eye, so that's, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. He also had another ability that I didn't that I've forgotten about. But yeah, that's their basic stats. Huh?
Special massage.
Yeah, he does have a special massage. But that's not relevant to this.
Oh.
So yeah. Yeah, and they're both empowered by friendship.
They are both empowered by friendship. Yeah,
Ren can also enter into your mind and cause you to go insane and kill you inside of your mind. But that would not help with Sora, because whenever he goes inside of someone's mind, he has to deal with their own personal manifestation of themselves. And if he tried to go into Sora's mind, he'd get fucked by Sora's friends and Sora's own dream version of himself, which Sora has a fairly inflated ego. So
he does. He does have a very.
So that's what we're at. So I think we're good for discussion now that we went through everything they can do. What way are you leaning, John?
This one's tough, but I'm gonna lean towards Ren, even though Sora has been in my heart since 2002. I'm gonna have to say Ren on this one.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Now, I, on the other hand, would argue that it's not tough. And Sora gets fucking blown up easily because it's not in any way close.
There.
Ren outclasses him in basically every stat. Ren needs to hit him once and then Sora dies. Sora can't even physically damage him.
And then it takes Sora 18 years for a new video game.
Yeah, well...
Kingdom Hearts 4 in 2040.
Yeah, that is worth noting that eventually Sora will probably be returned by the memories of his friends. But yeah, I don't think this is close at all. I get what Arcec was going with Kingdom Hearts versus a thief that steals hearts.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah,
but Sora is not in Ren's fucking power bracket at all.
Even if we were talking to like Endgame Kingdom Hearts 3 Sora, with everything that happens at Dream Drop and everything, I don't see it being close either.
Yeah. It's worth noting that Ren is the second strongest Persona protagonist after Makoto Yuki. So it's just not a close fight. It's a fun discussion, but
Ren wins.
Yeah, Ren wins for sure.
What we don't have anyone picked out for next time yet, but
Yeah, we do.
well, we do. Oh, we do. Okay.
Probably. I was going to go down the list. If we get a bunch of suggestions, we'll have a little debate.
Yeah. Or we can just take the lazy round and just do a randomizer.
Oh yeah, we could do that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To make it fair, yeah.
Yeah, I have 3 more discussions on my Discord.
Okay. Do we have a definitive next one though?
I guess maybe not. I was going to do God Hand versus Cenobites, but there's room for debate. We can figure out how we'll decide them later.
Okay. So yeah, that's been fun.
I almost think it would be fun to not announce it like we do with Anime Dartboard. I almost think it would be fun to be like, surprise! This is what you're getting this week, bitch.
I like that. Yeah.
God Hand versus Cenobites.
Stan Lee versus Jack Kirby.
Oh.
Yeah.
In a fist fight.
In a fist fight. A New York fist fight.
Yeah. They're allowed to use whatever they...
Boy, would I pay for that. The funny thing is I have picture Stan Lee literally right here. It's like staring at me. Love you.
Yeah, I think they're both dead.
Yeah, they all. Yeah, actually, yeah. Jack Kirby died, I believe, 5 years ago, something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways,
so looks like kicking us off is WandaVision.
Oh, wrong one. Fuck. There we go. No spoilers for WandaVision. I just want to talk about it a little bit because, boy, was that great.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if anyone's watched it, but
I'm getting a lot of YouTube clips from it recommended to me.
It's Hey, thank you for the sub, Arsec. I love you. 11 months, almost 1 year. We're almost there. Actually, my stream anniversary was like 2 months ago, but was it? No, last month. I don't remember. Who knows? Yeah, WandaVision. So, great piece of television. That expands on the Marvel Cinematic Universe in a pretty great way. I'm not going to talk literally anything about any of the episodes. I just want to praise it for a little bit. This is one of those shows that starts off pretty slow. There's a really slow burn to it. You know, it's very mysterious. Basically all the way up to like the second to last episode. Like there's 9 episodes, and like you don't really get too much shit until about episode 7 when it really starts to like break free and actually tell you what's going on. There's some fun cameos in it. Again, no spoilers. You know everything's online now. Everyone's probably already been spoiled at this point. But I'm just not going to.
Yeah, probably. I just randomly got shown a clip from what you're probably talking about.
Fair enough. Elizabeth Olsen has become one of my favorite people to watch on screen now. Just because, like, the way she handles everything in this show is phenomenal. From being Wanda, I saw the graphic. Nice job. That was Tom who made it. Big ups to Tom. Koi Savoy Boy. Go check him out on Facebook. And but what was it? Yeah. She doesn't get much to do in a lot of the movies, but I think the idea of giving her own show is fantastic. Because I think of her in a different light after watching the show. Some of the moments, especially in the last couple episodes, like episode 8 in particular, like she deserves some form of like Emmy or something like that. Because holy shit, it's great. Paul Bettany too. Paul Bettany trolled the entire internet during the course of the show, and it's one of my favorite things that's happened in the last couple months. Mostly because he talks about a cameo that does happen. Again, no spoilers, and it's pretty funny. But man, I want to see more. I can't wait. I can't wait for Doctor Strange 2 to come out and see where her character goes and like what happens after the events of the show. Shout out to Randall Park too for holding it down as Jimmy Woo. I loved his character. Shout out to Darcy coming back and actually being interesting and fun to watch. Monica Rambeau, 2 thumbs up on her character. Really love that. Um, everything about the show, great. Again, not going to talk about it too deep. If you have Disney Plus, go watch it. If you don't, borrow someone's Disney Plus, watch it. It's 9 episodes, not super long. The longest episode is probably like 47 minutes, I think. I think the last episode was. But you'll definitely have a boner by the end of it because Elizabeth Olsen does look pretty hot by the end of
John, I always have a boner.
it. Me too. You haven't watched it yet, right, Zach? Yeah.
No.
I recommend. I recommend.
Hmm.
Hard recommend. If you like the MCU, if you've read any of the comics, you will not be able to guess what happens in the show, which is one of my favorite things. I've seen Zach stand up on stream. Fully torqued and erect and ready to go. Yeah, Kato can vouch. Definitely check it out. Falcon and the Winter Soldier comes out next week. So I'll probably be talking about that next podcast because I wake up early every Friday morning to watch these shows because I'm a psychopath. Yeah, watch it. Go watch it.
Okay.
Watch it. Do it. Just watch it.
Just do it.
Just fucking do it.
Yeah, just do it.
But yeah, if you like House of M, you might be a little upset, but also not. No spoilers. Anyways, moving right along.
Right. Next up is The Boys.
The Boys.
Specifically, season 2. I watched that probably yesterday, I think.
The entire season 2.
Yeah.
Oh damn.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad.
Yeah, I have to watch it.
Yeah. Have you seen any of The Boys?
It's on my watch list. I haven't seen season 1 or 2 yet.
Are you familiar with The Boys in general?
No, I never read the comics either.
Yeah, it's based on a comic series by Garth Ennis, who I've read some of his comics. I haven't read The Boys itself, and I haven't read his most famous. Oh, fuck my neck. And I haven't read his most famous comic, Preacher, but I have read I read Crossed and like something else. I hear he had a pretty good run on Punisher Max also. Not that I don't think I've ever read any Punisher.
Nobody has. They're actually very good though, but nobody's read them.
Yeah. Yeah, his comics generally come off as like fairly misanthropic and just like he seems to make that like classic mistake of making things so dark that it doesn't matter and you don't care. But the show itself does not make that mistake because the show itself is written by someone who's not a complete fucking edgelord. And is generally, from what I understand, like fixing a lot of the dumb bullshit that was in the original comic. Solid show. I thought the early episodes of season 2, I won't go spoilers on this either, but thought the early episodes of season 2 were actually pretty weak. I was fucking so bored for episode 1 that I almost dropped the show.
Really?
And I barely made it through episode 2. It was so fucking boring.
We can have
but yeah, I thought it really picked up in season 3, and it got pretty good by the end of it. Or by episode 3, and it got pretty good by the end of it. I thought the like new character, like Stormfront, was a really interesting addition. So, and I honestly, I thought it was going to take a much dumber turn than it did with the season 1 finale, but they ended up going a pretty interesting direction with it. So,
that's good.
Hopefully the show can like keep its trajectory going and not go too Garth Ennis-y.
Yeah. I'm hoping to watch that soon. Some hopefully with maybe by next. I can't promise it, but maybe by next podcast we can actually go into a deep dive of it.
Yeah, hopefully by next podcast we'll be fucking done with Fire Emblem.
Fair enough. Is that all you got for the boys?
Yeah. I mean, I don't really want to go into it.
Fair.
Saving the spoilers. I think the show probably finished relatively recently, so.
Moving right along. Yeah, shout out to Tom for that graphic. Definitely go support Tom's art. Tom's art is fucking great. He will be doing literally all my art from here on out.
Oh, it was Fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I didn't. When you said Fantastic Four reboot, I didn't know if you were referring to like the in the works Fantastic Four whatever fucking thing they're working on now, or you were talking about Fantastic. I couldn't find any new information about the Fantastic Four thing that they said they were going to do, so I put it in between the movies and the TV shows just to be safe.
I'm going to talk about both. Because every time I went to go type out Fantastic, it automatically would correct itself, so I just gave up on that.
Okay.
But I sometimes I what I do on Sundays while I'm at work is I watch shitty movies. So I want to talk about some of those shitty movies. Mainly, I have two of them on a list. I'm going to save some others for next podcast. Because I do this basically every Sunday. I just watch a shitty movie. I don't know why. I'm not watching Dragon Ball Evolution for anyone that's wondering, because I can't never watch that again. Nobody can pay me to watch that, but I do have a price for that. If you want me to watch it, it's $2,000. If you want to send me $2,000 via my PayPal, I will watch that movie and review it for you. But this movie fucking sucks. It fucking sucks. There is no good scenes in this movie. I can't think of anything that can redeem it. The reshoots that they did are so fucking blatantly obvious because of Kate Mara's fucking hair that I hate it. I hate it. It's almost as bad as the fucking CGI face that they did for Justice League. Fucking Henry Cavill. I fucking hate this. I hate the guy who plays Mr. Fantastic. I hate Johnny Storm in this movie. I hate The Thing. I hate everyone. There's not a damn good thing about this movie. Doctor Doom is a fucking joke. He made more sense of a villain in the campier fucking earlier ones with Jessica Biel and Ian Grufffuffles, whatever his name is, Chris Evans and all that. God
Ian
damn.
Grufffuffles was correct, I believe.
I believe that's his name. He was also the guy that was in Horrible Bosses. That was the wet work guy, which is my favorite role of his. Anyways,
yeah.
This should never been a movie. So, which brings me to the reboot. For the love of God, John Watts, I know you're directing this movie. You did an amazing job, no pun intended, with my boy Spider-Man. Do not ruin the Fantastic Four for a third fucking time.
Which Spider-Man?
He did the Spider-Man Homecoming, Far From Home, and he's doing the third one. He's the director of those movies.
Okay.
He does Kato, 100%. He makes more sense as the villain of the Lego games. He makes more sense as a villain in Superhero Squad, which is made for fucking children. I saw this movie in theaters when it came out, and
I love how you're so mad I can't even hear what you're mad about anymore.
I was not a fan of Homecoming. Fair enough, mate. I do love that movie. I think it has one of the best twists in any movie.
I thought Homecoming was... Oh, Homecoming I liked. I was thinking of... No. Yeah, the first one. The first one was okay.
Yeah. I saw this movie in theaters, and we all four of us went. Myself, Tom, and Tyler, and somebody else went. I can't remember whom. We all bought a pint of alcohol each because we knew this movie was going to suck, so we figured it'd be better if we were drunk. It was not better. drunk. It was, in fact, it made it worse. Because I just wanted to leave and go somewhere else. It was made for kids in general. Yeah, that is true, made, yeah. I forgot Superhero Squad existed. I didn't. I've watched probably everything fucking Marvel related from like the last like 20 years. It's ridiculous. I've watched all the 90s shows too, like the shitty Iron Man one, the shitty Avengers show in the 90s, like Silver Surfer, the whole key name. I've watched it all. Spider-Man 90 series, best probably cartoon series ever, hands down. Besides Batman and the animated series, nobody. I don't know if anyone ever contests that. Next up is X-Men. X-Men is definitely top 3. Those are my top 3, anyways. But fuck this movie. I wish I could wipe its existence from the face of the earth. I hope everyone's career besides guy who plays what is it, Michael B. Jordan. I do like him and everything else, but I wish I could just change him out of this movie because boy, this movie fucking sucks. It just fucking sucks. And Red. Any thoughts on it, Zach?
Well, I haven't seen it.
Don't.
But my major thought is that just like last time when you came back from the break, your audio for me is becoming less and less legible. I heard like every 7th word of that. So I might try to like leave the call and come back. Because I can't fucking hear anything you're saying anymore. But yeah, so I have not seen this movie. I don't get the Fantastic Four in general, so I didn't really have any interest in it either. Like, I don't think I watched the Silver Surfer movie either. So
it fucking sucks.
Yeah, I have no interest in the Fantastic Four.
That's fair. Not a lot of people do. So I like some of the things that they do with other people. Like Reed Richards is probably the best character from Fantastic Four, just because he has such a mark on the Marvel universe in general. And I trust John Watts to take care of these characters because boy do they need some TLC.
Yeah,
that is true. Jessica Alba does have that booty. That's it for Fantastic Four. I just wanted to shit on it for like a couple minutes.
Mm-hmm. So next up is the Truman Show. I was waiting for you to show it. Okay.
A movie that I have seen.
What?
A movie that I have seen.
Okay, I watched the Truman Show I managed to sit through it this time. I had trouble because I was gonna watch it at one point, like a year or so ago, and then I did not get through the first scene. But I actually finished it. I watched the Truman Show. Classic film. Oh, it was pretty good. It was all right. I didn't think it was anything too special. I thought it was more interesting in concept, I think, than in practice.
Yeah.
I think once the cracks start showing, it just like escalates to it breaking more and more, and you kind of wonder, like, in a way, how did it ever hold up in the first place? Like, if they were that careless, I don't know. I think the concept of a corporation adopting a child is an interesting bit of commentary that might be possible.
Yeah.
Legally, and I'm a little worried about that, but
Amazon, how many kids you got? Let us know in the comments
please
below.
Dear God, don't let the answer be more than 25.
It's a high number.
I mean, 25 is an acceptable amount of, child adoption, but past that, I'm starting to have questions about why Amazon needs so many children.
That free work.
Ratings. Well, that's illegal.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I watched this movie. I think September or August. I can't remember off the top of my head, timeline wise. For the first time, I liked it a lot. It was like you said, it does kind of like fall kind of like through the cracks and like some of it. Um,
I feel like it was almost too rushed, despite being like a 2-hour movie. If that makes any sense.
no, it does because they like I remember watching it and I'm like, wow, this movie's going by really fast. And I like looked at the time, it was like an hour and 30, and I'm like, fuck, there's still like 30 minutes left of this.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this movie does kind of have some parallels too, like with WandaVision too, which is kind of funny. So I was actually gonna rewatch this movie pretty soon actually because Megan's never seen it either, so we were gonna watch it. Just because like when her and I were watching WandaVision, I'm like, this kind of reminds me of the Truman Show in a little bit. That might be a little bit of a spoiler, but I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I mean, if you've seen the movie, but I don't think it's one of Jim Carrey's best, but it's also not one of his worst. I will say Jim Carrey's best movie is probably Man on the Moon. I fucking love that movie. I think it's fantastic. Like Jim, that's 100% Jim Carrey's
Number 23.
Uh,
Oh, I haven't seen it. I just thought it would be funny.
no, nobody likes that movie. Um, yeah, man. If you like Jim Carrey, I would recommend this movie. Definitely Eternal Sunshine and Man on the Moon. Those are probably like I would say his top three best movies.
Can I be honest?
Yeah.
I don't like Jim Carrey.
That's fair. A lot of people like Jim Carrey's hit and miss for a lot of people. I like him. I like him in more of his like his role. Oh, Yes Man's good too. Yeah. Um,
I'm not a super big fan of those like super over the top like comedic actors like Jim Carrey and Robin Williams and stuff.
yeah. I like them. Like same thing with like Adam Sandler. I like their more serious movies. Like Reign Over Me is probably like hands down. I mean, Uncut Gems was great, but I think Reign Over Me is a better like serious movie that Adam Sandler's done. And like
I would actually almost argue that Adam Sandler is not like his movies are over the top and bombastic, but he usually plays the straight man
yeah,
in his films.
Jim Carrey was a great Riddler, great Riddler. He was. He played Edward Nygma to the T. I think he's good in The Mask too, but like, I think his more serious movies are like way better than like any of his comedy stuff. Like Yes Man's like probably like it's more of a rom-com type movie. It's good, but like Eternal Sunshine is like hands down my favorite. Well, like one of my favorites, and Man on the Moon too. I love both those movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to Mark Ruffalo too, who's also in Eternal Sunshine.
All the acting in this movie was terrible, but it's hard to tell if like it's hard to tell where the intentionally terrible acting starts, you know, and
Yeah.
like where like when does it stop being like bad acting and like when does it become good actors acting poorly? I don't know.
It's
hard to tell.
It really is hard to tell. Yeah, Cable Guy's the best Jim Carrey movie. I do like Cable Guy too. That's a great movie.
I also had the like strangest like experience with this film, which is I feel like I was on the wrong side because I kept fucking rooting for the TV show to keep him the whole time. I was like, "Come on, you can get him, show. I'm in it. Keep that Truman Show running." And then he got it, and I'm like, "No, boo!"
I actually always forget about the Cable Guy. That's my favorite Broderick film, besides Producers.
The ending scene was pretty good, but yeah, I ended up rooting for the producers of the show over Truman the whole time.
Liar Liar doesn't. Every time I watch it, like I used to love that show when I was like, wow, that movie when I was younger. But the older I get, the more I like it just doesn't hold up every time I watch it. I love Cary Ellis in that movie though. He's like such a douchebag, like stepdad type guy. That's yeah. I recently watched 51st Dates for the first time. The movie left me wanting a sequel. I do love 51st Dates. Zach, you're a terrible person.
I like how everyone's reacting like me being a terrible person is somehow news.
Yeah. Old news. Do you have anything more for Truman Show?
Not really, but Grandma Sack loves 50 First Dates, so.
I also love that movie. Fun fact: Megan hates Adam Sandler movies, so I always force her to watch them.
Oh, fun.
I'm gonna make her watch Jack and Jill one of these days, even though I know that movie's terrible.
The movie doesn't even look good.
It's not. It's really not. It's really bad. What's next?
Ghostbusters 2016.
Another movie that I'm gonna hate on.
Okay.
Again, I do shitty game Sunday and also shitty movie Sunday. I had to force myself to watch this. I also paid $4 to watch it, which I also hate that I paid twice to see this movie. Because I did see this in theaters when it came out. First of all, I want to say fuck you, Paul Feig, for doing this movie. Fuck you to everyone in this movie. Uh, Fuck you, Chris Hemsworth, for doing this movie and playing one of the worst characters I've ever seen in a fucking movie ever. Also, fuck you, Slimer, because you look like shit in this movie. Just fuck everything about this movie. This movie is not.
Isn't Bill Murray in this movie?
Bill Murray's in this movie. Ernie Hudson is in this movie. Dan Aykroyd's in this movie. Sigourney Weaver's in this movie. Annie Potts is in this movie, and a statue of the great Harold Ramis is also in this movie. Now, I probably said this a million times, but I'm a huge Ghostbusters fan. I literally have like a section of my shelf right here dedicated to Ghostbusters. Um, Fuck this fucking abomination of a movie. This movie has one funny part, and it's in the beginning of the movie with Zach Woods, where he talks about shitting his pants. That's the only funny part of the movie, and it's because Zach Woods is like a funny guy, and that's the only good part about this movie. Besides one of my friends being in the concert scene because they filmed that in like Boston. That's the only other good part, just because I'm like, hey, I know that guy. That's Travis. Um, Other than that,
Shout out to Travis.
Shout out to Travis, man. I love you. I wish your band would get back together because I miss you guys. Uh, anyways, this movie is literally an abomination to the source material. When a poop joke is the highlight of the movie, that's really exactly.
Yeah, I was gonna say it didn't sound that funny.
Yeah, it's like it's only funny the way he delivers it, but like yeah. Wonder if that would be sick, Matt, because I love Extreme Ghostbusters too. I've watched every episode of The Real Ghostbusters and Extreme Ghostbusters. Recently, actually.
The Real Ghostbusters of LA?
No. Fun fact, the guy who voices Pete Venkman also voices Garfield, and Bill Murray vice versa voice Garfield. That's my favorite fun fact. Anyways, a side note, fuck this movie. I was gonna continue to say that. Fuck this movie. The ending is stupid. The villain is one of the most piss poor written villains I've ever seen in my life. They waste Chris Hemsworth just by making him some dumb dude. I understand nothing about this movie. I don't know why it came to be. They should just literally legally change the name from Ghostbusters to anything else, and it would be like Ghost Hunters, because this should not be associated with such a classic '80s movie. Like, no, like just stop. Like, take the symbol away, call it something else. I hate it. There's nothing good about it. Nothing. The poop joke. And
Ghostbusters.
And sing My Babe, Sigourney Weaver at the end. Who they put her at the end of the movie for like 5 seconds. They kill Bill Murray. I hate it. Dan Aykroyd's cameo is the only one that's like good. He plays like some cabbie, and he like says something about like the ghost shit, and then he's like, I ain't afraid of no ghosts, and then he goes away. That's about it. Thank you for the follow, bruh. Appreciate it. But yeah. Have you seen this movie?
I have not seen any Ghostbusters movies.
Well, I'm going to let you borrow my 4K copy of the original Ghostbusters that I have conveniently right here, so you can watch it. It's honestly, well, Bill Murray probably wanted to get killed out. Yeah, Bill Murray does hate everything. What I will say, Hey, what's up, bro? How you doing, man?
Oh yeah, I don't know if I talked about this. I saw Zombieland Saga Double Tap, and Bill Murray was in that.
Oh, they did bring him back for the second one. I haven't seen it yet.
In a flashback, yeah.
Oh, in a flashback. Okay.
Yeah, because they talk about one of the characters is like, when I find out that a guy who killed Bill Murray, I'm gonna fucking kill him. And the main character's like, yeah, fuck that guy. And then at the end, like during an end credit scene, they're like, hey, we know we killed off Bill Murray, so here's a special scene just for you Bill Murray fans. And it's like Bill Murray, like right at ground zero when everyone starts turning into a zombie, and it's him just murdering his way through a convention hall of zombies.
That's fucking great.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro, me too. I've seen everything Ghostbusters related. I've played all the games. I love that shit. What I'm really hoping for is the pseudo sequel, which is done by Ivan Reitman's son. That comes out.
Good night, Arsenic.
I believe I think it comes out in November now. Like the date keeps changing. It was supposed to be July. It was already supposed to be out by now, but Paul Rudd's in it, and like the kid from like Stranger Things and stuff. So I'm really hoping that, because it's actually a continuation of the actual like Ghostbusters story. But I hope this one's good. It should be, because it's there's definitely some love and care into this movie with like the director's son taking it over and everything too, because he grew up like around the movie and stuff too. So I'm really hoping that the new one's very good, and it redeems this piece of garbage. Boy, is it garbage.
Ugh.
Anyway, I'm done with that rant.
Okay. Oh, by the way, Zombieland Saga Double Tap is actually pretty good, and I'm surprised they managed to bring the whole cast back and then still make a good movie like 10 years later.
I'll have to check it out. It's been on my watch list. I just haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, I liked it. It was fun.
All right, what's next?
Looks like next up is Shutter Island.
A movie I've also seen recently.
Okay. Good. Oh, yeah, fun. Yeah, this movie came out when DiCaprio was making his like Oscar push, so he started making a bunch of like artsy fartsy movies to try and get an Oscar, and then eventually he did. So
for a movie that wasn't that great.
I have not seen it, but I did watch Shutter Island. I knew the plot twist going in.
I did not. I did not.
Well, it's a pretty famous plot twist. That's why I knew about it.
Oh, fair.
Directed by Martin Scorsese. And I think this movie, first off, one of the most notable things about this movie is the fucking soundtrack is fucking atrocious.
It's pretty bad, yeah.
The sound of it isn't even necessarily that bad, but it's so over the top and so bombastic, and they play it so loud over scenes where it does not warrant the amount of bombast that they fucking play it over. Like, they'll be driving in a car and the soundtrack will be like blah, 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 blah. And you're like, they're just driving in a car, and then like the chorus will start, and they're like, "Oh, we're singing in fake Latin," and you'll be like, "The fuck is happening?" And then you see like DiCaprio like look at a fence, and he's like, "Oh, that's a fence," and then the soundtrack will be like,
"You're not wrong."
It's just going fucking mental over nothing in every scene. It's ridiculous. What I will say about this movie that I found really stand out was the direction itself of it, which is why I, for the first time in like ever, called out the director Martin Scorsese, because I think Shutter Island is a very well directed film.
Mm-hmm.
I like, for example, in like the like flashback scenes or the dream sequences, there's like a moment where they like intercut the audio from like a clip ahead of the like actresses, like, I'm gonna call them lip flaps because I don't know what you call it when a human speaks. Like they take like audio and they put it over the lip flaps, so it just desyncs ever so slightly so that the whole sequence is off. or through like various parts of the movies where they'll see like little bits of ash floating through the sky to allude to like the distortion of reality. It like the and like some of the like the movie does a great job of bringing attention to the fact that you're watching a movie, which would be bad, but it actually works to the movie's credit. Like at one point, like a woman goes to drink from a glass, and then the glass like pops out of her hand, and then there's a hard cut, and then the glass is just empty with like no like frames or any transitions in between that. I feel that lip flaps is the worst way. Well, lip flaps is the term they use for animation. That's why I called it a lip flap. I don't know what you call it when you dub a real person, but it's called a lip flap for animation.
That's
but yeah, so like then the like glass is empty. So they use like a lot of like very like clever editing tricks throughout the movie to just make everything seem just slightly off kilter. And sort of bring attention to the fact that you're watching a movie, which gives you the whole feeling that everything you're watching is not real, which works to the movie's benefit because the whole movie is about a psychotic break. So it almost gives you the experience of like the going through the psychotic break with the main character from a first person's perspective. Like everything is shot from the perspective of the main character, and I would almost argue that's probably why the soundtrack is so over the fucking top, is because it's meant to clash with the scene you're watching, because it's very impactful to your protagonist in that scene because it's shot from his perspective, but you as an audience member are completely disconnected from the surrounding events, almost as if he is disconnected from reality. I think the movie is very well edited and very well directed. I'm a little iffy on where the stylistic choices begin and end, just like I was with Truman Show. Like, there's one scene where they're driving through a car, and the background is just the shittiest green screen I have ever seen in my fucking life. And I don't know if they just used a really shitty green screen, or like on purpose, or they used a really shitty green screen because it was in 2008 and I'm upscaling to 4K. You know what I'm saying?
No, that makes sense, yeah. That's the scene where they're driving up for the first time, right?
No, it's the scene where DiCaprio is in the car with the prison guard.
Oh, okay.
And the fucking background, and they're in like a Jeep or something, and the background is just so shitty and low resolution. But yeah, it's very well directed, very well edited. As for the actual plot of the movie, it was okay.
Yeah, I guess the ending 20 minutes into the movie, something like that. I've never I don't know how I've been missing spoilers for like a lot of these movies, but somehow I have. And so when I like guessed the ending, I was like, that can't be right. Like it can't be that obvious. And then I got to the end, I'm like, oh, okay.
Well, I was watching along with Mama Sack, and she also figured it out pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So.
Brings me back to Persona.
Yeah. Yeah, the plot of the movie was okay. I didn't think it was anything special. I thought that the way it was delivered was kind of like dumb and like poorly written. I don't think the writing was very strong. It's a movie that like lives on its presentation, I would say.
No, I thought
the ending was pretty interesting. Where he does that thing that he does.
He does do that thing that he does.
Yeah. But, solid movie. Definitely like a plus on Martin Scorsese. I just wish the script was better.
That's fair, yeah.
I wish the script was better, yeah.
Solid movie. I think I gave it like a 7 out of 10 when I originally watched it.
Yeah, I'd give the overall film a 7 out of 10.
Yeah. I felt like that was like respectable. I think it was going for that like 9 out of 10, but no.
Yeah. No, I mean the direction I would almost say is like 9 out of 10, but like the whole as a whole the movie's fine, I guess.
Yeah.
So, we good to move on, I think. All right.
Oop,
Demon Slayer. No.
wrong one. No, wrong
No.
one. Which one?
No.
There we go.
Demon Slayer. Kimetsu no Yaiba.
Ah, go away.
A manga that briefly surpassed One Piece in sales. Not all-time sales, but like monthly sales. It will be a very long time before something surpasses One Piece in all-time sales.
This show was great made. Megan and I power watched the entire series in a day, and it was like one of the best days I've had in a while. It's very hard to find anime you can just like watch like in one day. So when I was like, oh, it's only one season, it's brand new, perfect. People have been telling me to watch it, perfect. Um, this show is fantastic from start to ending. Like you didn't, there was no point where I felt like lost in anything. There's zero fucking filler, which is like my fucking favorite. Because like after watching shit like One Piece and Naruto and even Dragon Ball Z has filler. Like it was such a breath of
Dragon Ball Z is famous for filler.
I think Naruto's more famous for filler.
It's like the poster child for filler.
I would argue One Piece and Naruto are like way worse for filler. Yeah.
One Piece actually has statistically fairly low filler.
Really?
Yeah. Well, Naruto is like, I think 76% filler.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Watched the whole thing and then watched it again with my brother because he never shuts up. There. I'm probably gonna watch this again. I'm really excited for the movie in season 2 for this because I really want to see where like it goes with this character. Do you know anything about this, Zach?
I know it's a very popular shonen series.
Yeah.
I'm gonna blow everyone's mind. Have not seen this.
I recommend it. It's on Netflix. It's on Funimation. You can watch it either places. You cannot watch it easily on PS5 because every time you go to watch it on the PlayStation 5 app for whatever reason, it says you're not a subscriber, and then you have to go find it and then click on it again. It's stupid, and I hate the PS5 Funimation app. Anyways,
I would literally never watch anything on a PS5. So
I'm too lazy to set up my.
Both Naruto and Naruto Shippuden have 41% filler rate.
Yeah, that's
according to Anime Filler List.
That sounds about right. Yeah. But yeah, this show is like the main premise is I can't for whatever life of me remember his fucking name right now, but his sister is becoming a demon, and he wants to basically save her from that fate, and along the way he meets some colorful characters as seen up top. I cannot for life remember anyone's fucking name in the show for some reason.
Isn't there a character called Nozomi? Or am I making that the fuck up?
I can't remember for whatever reason. When it comes to shit I've only watched once, it's like really hard. It was very hard for me to remember everyone's name of Persona 2. But I also spent 100 hours in that game, so this and Violet Evergarden were some of the best animes to watch this year. Violet Evergarden is in my list to watch, I believe.
That's good.
Yeah. Also, Cells at Work. That was another one I want to watch soon. Everyone's talking.
Also good. Not Violet Evergarden level, but
yeah, a lot of people are talking about that. So that's in my thing, and I like medical shit, so that's like right up my alley. Violet Evergarden ever watched on Blue. Oh, nice.
Neither Violet Evergarden nor Cells at Work have anything to do with magic.
I like magic.
Okay, well, neither of them have anything to do with magic. Neither of them have magic.
Oh no, I was talking about medical stuff.
Oh!
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. What, does it sound like I say magical?
Yeah, it did.
Oh, my bad. Yeah.
I got so confused.
Yeah, I love medical shit. One of my favorite Wii games is Trauma
Nezuko.
Center. Yeah. Nezuko, yeah. That's the sister, yeah. Yeah. Highly recommended if you like any action-oriented anime. And it's a quick watch. It was only 24 episodes, something like that.
I thought it was 32. It's 26 and then a movie.
Oh, no shit.
And
that's
then,
awesome. I did not know that made. That's awesome. Love Trauma Center.
Something. Yeah, and then there's a new season coming out.
Yeah, I'm super pumped for that, yeah. Way better than My Hero. My Hero was not that great. Yeah, somebody will upset about
Oh man, I said I gave Hiroaka season like 2 a 7 at one point, and someone got Hiroaka season 2 a 7. Someone flipped the fuck out on me in chat.
that. Really?
Yeah, it's like, have you taken into account that Hiroaka is a series that basically broke shonen? And I'm like, first off, what? No, it hasn't. What the fuck are you talking about? Second off, a show being popular doesn't make it a better show.
Yeah. My Hero's definitely a 7 at best. Like the entirety of like the show so far, like that I've seen. I think I've watched up to season 3. I don't remember. I can't remember. Right?
I've watched all season 4. I think I changed season 2 to an 8, not because of that dickbag, but because my rating system changed. But I don't think any other season besides 2 has gotten past a 7. I gave okay. So while we're pissing people off, we get back to Demon Slayer after this anecdote. People kept telling me to watch fucking Hiroaka. So I watched Hiroaka, and only season 1 was out, and it was fucking garbage.
Yeah, season 1 was boring, but everyone's like, "Oh, give it another shot. Give it like watch season 2." So I was like, "Okay, I watched season 2."
You don't understand. You don't understand. Hang on. Season 1 was so bad that I made a Mal account to downrate it. Like, if you ever wonder why I use my anime list so extensively, I literally made my Mal account. The first rating I ever made was Hiroaka Season 1 because I thought it was so fucking shitty that I got a Mal account, which I have since added everything I've ever watched to just because it was that shitty. I actually think I only gave it a 4, but it was hyped up a lot for how fucking not good Season 1 was.
Yeah, season 1's pretty boring. It's a very generic show. Like, made you are like on point with that. Like, it is. It's a very by the numbers type of show, and that's what I think I don't like about it.
I think people think Hiroaka is so good because they're in their like little anime bubble and they're not used to like Western comics, so they don't see how derivative it is.
Yeah.
But like, as someone who's familiar with my superhero mythos, I see the dots.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like aware of what they're leaning towards. Like, people like stroke the dick of the Hero Killer Stain arc so hard, but I've seen that arc be done better in Western comics.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. What's your problem with it, Mac? While we're on the subject, yeah. I'm basically done with Demon Slayer. I don't have too much to say because I don't want to talk spoilers and stuff like that.
Sure. I'll watch it at some point. When did this come out, Demon Slayer?
I don't know. I just watched it recently, though. Just because they finally added it to like Netflix and stuff like that and Funimation. It's just something like a plot element that doesn't fall through. 100%.
Okay, yeah, Demon Slayer came out in 2019, so I'll be watching it relatively soon then.
Yeah. Wait till My Hero rips off Watchmen and I'll hear Alan rant about My Hero. Fair. That's fair.
What I will say about Hiroaka is the character of Shigaraki is really, really good. But I kind of feel like, for me, whether my hero achieves the greatness that it clearly wants or not depends on how well they deliver Shigaraki as a villain going forward.
Yeah. No, yeah.
Because, Hiroaka uses Shigaraki, uses the early part of the show. It's kind of like BoJack Horseman. It knows it's making crap at the start, even though everyone in the anime community jerked off season 1. It knows it made crap in the beginning, but it did it intentionally to build off of it. Like, Shigaraki is introduced as like a fucking nothing character, shitty villain who just does things because, I'm a crazy evil villain. But like, the point about him is that Shigaraki is the perfect foil to Deku, because Deku is intended to be like a hero in training, learning from All Might, the possessor of One for All.
It's Piccolo,
whereas Shigaraki learns from All for One, and he is like like as Deku learns to be a hero, Shigaraki, as his nemesis, is learning to be a villain. So, of course, they both start out shitty, but they're both developing into their roles. And it's very interesting how they're dealing with Shigaraki. And I actually think Shigaraki is one of the more interesting characters in the show because of it. Like, he starts out so shitty, and he's like, I'm killing everyone. Ah, fuck, I failed. Ah, I'm a loser. But, like, at the end of season 2... like he just almost kills Deku and then just lets him go, and it's just because he's learning to be the better villain. And then in season 3 and season 4, you see him continuously like learn from his mistakes and make better plans, and he's developing just as much as the main character, which is why Shigaraki makes Hero Aka, and without him it would be just a boring shonen show. But on the same like vein, the show kind of lives or dies based on how well they can deliver Shigaraki's plot lines. Like if Shigaraki like dies or like becomes an unimportant character and doesn't keep developing at the same rate as Deku, like he just becomes like a side villain, the show's going to go to shit real hard real fast.
I agree. I agree. I also agree with you, Mac. 100%. But yeah.
And Deku sucks.
He is pretty boring.
He's like the worst character in the show.
Now that we piss off the entire internet.
Oh, fine. Look, I've shit-talked Hero Aka all the time. I've also shit-talked Attack on Titan. I've shit-talked every major show, I think, except for One Piece.
You leave DBZ alone. That was our agreement.
I have definitely shit-talked DBZ.
That's fair.
I've shit-talked DBZ on this podcast.
I know you have, yeah. DBZ, like, I know it has its flaws, but it's always going to be, like, it's always going to be in my heart, because it was, like, my first anime I watched, like, fully, and it was, like, my introduction to it, like, that and Sailor Moon, you know?
Mm-hmm. No, I get it. It's like a personal connection. I get that.
It is, yeah. I won't let anyone hurt you.
Also, both Naruto and Naruto Shippuden had a 41% filler list. Bleach has a 45% filler list, and One Piece has a 10% filler list.
Really? I thought One Piece had a lot.
No, like I said, One Piece has very, very little filler. But it has very little filler for the same reason that like Dragon Ball does, where it just stretches one episode on and on and on for like 30 goddamn like one chapter per one episode kind of adaptation.
Frieza.
Yeah, like Frieza.
30 episodes.
Exactly. Yeah, sorry. It does that.
I don't know. See, I know the flaws. But I look past it. Definitely check out Demon Slayer. It was a really good watch. It paced very well. I never got bored watching it. Like, the characters kept me, like, has, like, 90% filler, but that difference filler is actually entertaining, yeah. That's, like, I don't mind when the filler, like, Naruto has some entertaining filler, then it has some boring-ass filler that I just skip over. Same thing with DBZ, like, say what you want, but I love the car driving episode where him and Piccolo go get a license. Like, I fucking love that episode.
I actually rewatched part of DBZ like a couple years ago, but I only watched the episodes where Gohan was in high school.
Fair enough. Which are my least favorite episodes. Behind this mask is another mask. The problem with One Piece, yeah, it is a pain in the ass to watch. That's 100%. Yeah.
That's canon, by the way. Like episode 110, that is canon.
For what show?
Like people. Naruto, the episode where they keep trying to find out what's under Kakashi's mask.
Yeah.
That is canon. That is a canon episode.
I love that episode.
Like, people think it isn't because it's not in the manga, but it was in like a data book created by Masashi Kishimoto. Like, the whole mask arc is actually legitimately canon. So are some of the end game like ship it. Like, people think more like things in Naruto aren't canon because in order to milk the series they kept adapting other material from Naruto. Like, they started adapting the novels towards the end of Shippuden. So you like look at the manga and you're like, none of this was in the manga, but it was in like novels and data books and like one shots and other side sources. So
While we're on the subject, fuck Boruto.
That's how it fools you.
Fuck Boruto. Off the record. On the record, off the record. Fuck it.
Either Sarada or Himawari would have been more interesting characters to follow.
100%.
Yeah.
Boruto sucks.
He does.
Every decision they made in the show sucks.
Oh, Masashi Kishimoto got the rights to the series back, though, so he is writing the Boruto manga again.
Well,
Like, he lost the rights for a while, so he is back in charge now. He managed to get it from the original author, who was fired for some reason, and that is so rare in Japan. So, but they don't know what. Like they haven't said what he was fired for.
who cares? Boruto
But
sucks.
the fucking dude who writes Rurouni Kenshin can still find work, so I'm imagining it wasn't great.
Fair enough. I guess that brings us to our final topic of the what? Oh, go away. Okay. Our final bit of the night, which is anime dartboard.
Anime dartboard, where all your dreams come true.
PM.
No.
Oh, okay.
I stole that from Fantasy Costco.
Oh, initial thoughts on Time of Eve.
My initial thoughts, John, are that you didn't intro what anime dartboard was.
Oh, I suck at that. Anime Dartboard is our monthly book club where we all watch the same thing, and 90% of the time it turns out to be garbage. 10% of the time we like it, or
It's like 60%. Come on. 60% of the time it's garbage.
We'll meet in the middle and say 70% garbage. There was one I couldn't even finish, Zach. Because I was like, I can't watch this. It's so bad.
It was very bad.
It was really bad. Fucking Skycrawler. Fuck you. Yeah, Skycrawler and the first one we watched, I can't even remember the name of it. So yeah, what are your initial
Magical
thoughts?
Warfare.
Yeah, that one, yeah.
Okay, let me just start off with saying this because, as I've said, I recently went through all of the previous podcasts and went through the chapters, and I have realized that in every single episode of the podcast, I have had to remind you that we do spoilers for Anime Dartboard. So, John, I'm just going to go ahead and remind you ahead of time. Hey, we totally do spoilers for the series.
I know. I don't know why I try because a lot of the stuff that we talk about during the podcast, we have to sometimes keep spoiled for you. So by the end of it, I'm just like, yeah we don't need to talk spoilers.
Yeah, going through all of the old podcasts, I rewatched all the anime dartboards, and I realized I've had to remind you in every single one of them.
That's fair, yeah. That's fair.
So I just thought I would start off with that. Initial thoughts of Time of Eve. I'm gonna probably surprise everyone. I actually liked it.
You know what's funny? I actually did too.
Yeah, I kind of liked it. I thought it started off okay-ish. And then I kind of liked the middle part, and then I got a little slow towards the end.
It really does drop off, yeah.
Yeah, where they're trying to find out what's happening with the robot. I thought that was all right. But then when they start talking to the other patrons of the cafe, and they start socializing, and they start learning their stories, I was actually interested in what was going on with them and their stories and what was happening with them. I it had a really good emotional core, I think.
It did. By the end of it, I actually, thankfully, no one here has strict ideas for us. Fair enough. When I got to the end of the movie, I actually looked to see that there was a sequel too, because I was I actually kind of want to watch more of this.
No, it just kind of ends, right?
Yeah. Excuse me, 1 second. I gotta redeem this. Mickey Boop Dead for picking Mickey Mouse. As always, we are talking spoilers for Anime Dartboard because I always forget. It does end up because it makes it seem like there is more to it because he's well, that's a story for a different time, and I'm yeah, where's the different time? Because I want to listen to it.
I think the cause of it is that Time of Eve was originally a series of like 5 or 7 like short OVAs that got recut into this film, because this wasn't originally a movie. It was a series of OVAs.
Yeah, which is what I almost watched by accident.
Yeah. Don't do that.
I didn't. I watched it on YouTube. I rewatched it again today because I wanted to watch it twice just to make sure. I sat there twice, and I liked it both times.
Yeah, I thought it had a really good emotional core.
Put your camera back on.
Oh, right. No. I liked learning about the other customers. I thought it was really touching when like the robot like tried to force out the other government robot at the end.
Oh god, yeah, that scene was really good.
Yeah, I thought that was a nice scene. And like when the other robot was just like dying, and they were all trying to like placate it.
Yeah, that scene was really fun. I actually laughed out loud at a lot of like the parts too in like the movie. Like when he slaps someone, he's like staring at like the chick's tits and shit like that.
Yeah,
I fucking bursted out when I saw that.
Yeah, it's like tense scene where you're like, is this robot gonna fucking detonate?
yeah, that was like really good. And he like goes to sip it and he just goes like into like the chute or whatever. Like
yeah, he's got a little nozzle. Yeah.
And then he does end up dying, and then you're like, oh,
yeah.
I really enjoyed this movie. Like both times that I watched it too, and like I felt the same after the second watch too. Like I was like, this was good. Like it had a lot of good emotional beats. Like there were some actual like funny parts to it. There was some solid voice acting in it too. Like Yuri Lowenthal, who's done like Sasuke and Peter Parker in the Spider-Man games, was in it. Sean Shamil, who does Goku and stuff like that, was in it too. Because I watched the English dub because I'm a snob like that.
Oh no, we're supposed to watch the English dub.
Oh, okay, so everyone does. So yeah, shout out to those voice actors because I love them very much. Very good. Yeah, so like the emotional beats in this like story, like it actually like I actually felt something for the characters, like when, like you said at the end, like when he the robot's trying to stop, when he's stopping the guy from leaving so he can like have the robot talk to him and stuff like that. Like I love that scene when the robot blows up too, like that scene, or doesn't blow up but he just dies. Like I was like, wow, that like kind of sucks. And Chanchima is also kind of the guy. Oh no shit, that is awesome. Yeah, like just like the stuff with his dad too, like you kind of feel for this kid because like this guy's dad's like a fucking prick and like basically took away his best friend, and that kind of really sucked too. And you know the main character and his android too, like he was like trying to figure out, and he thought like she was trying to steal his talent away from him, but then you just like she more admires it than anything. And then when he plays the piano and stuff like in the cafe, like that seems really good. Like overall, like it was super solid to me, and like I'll probably end up watching it again, especially because it's free on YouTube.
Mm-hmm. I don't think he thought she was trying to steal it. I think he was afraid of her stealing it because of the robot that had already performed the like a better piano recital when he was younger.
That's right. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. I wasn't a super fond of all of our questions being answered with the ending credits, but
I didn't watch the credits.
Oh, you didn't watch the credits?
Oh, did I miss a whole bunch of shit?
You missed the answer, pretty much.
Oh,
you missed the explanation of what the cafe is and like who the owner is and why she's running the cafe.
Oh,
pretty much.
That sucks because I skipped the credits both times that I watched it.
Well, yeah, you missed a doozy then.
Oh, so spoilers for me then. Please go on.
Basically, you find out that the now there's some interpretation because it's just images, but you basically find out that the like runner of the cafe is like the daughter of the dude who like invented the robots,
mm-hmm.
And the reason that the cafe is able to run and all of the robots are able to like defy their normal programming is because he's basically backdooring the like robot obedience programs that he himself created. And he was like in a relationship with the woman who's like running the anti-robot league that ended up getting a foothold in the government. And they covered up that the accident that was supposedly caused by robots that led to higher robot restrictions was actually caused by them. So they like edited that part of like the papers, and it kind of implies that the leader of the cafe was like their daughter, but they ended up like the creator of the robots ended up leaving with his daughter, and they've traveled around and they've opened like numerous cafes over like the periods of time over the course of like this young girl's entire life, and she made friends with robots when she was in the hospital after being injured, because she got injured during the like anti-robot accidents. And so basically she's friends with robots, and they're trying to open the Time of Eve cafes, similar cafes to Time of Eve specifically, to try and like create better relationships between humans and robots.
And it kind of sucks that I missed that entire. If it's not a Marvel movie, don't stick around.
I'm kind of going off memory. I watched this like 4 weeks ago, but
I'll have to after the podcast, I'll probably just pop on the credits real quick and just watch that real quick.
Yeah, boot up them credits. See, this is why I always watch all of the credits for everything I watch.
You know, you'd think someone who, again, watches Marvel movies like I do would sit through credits.
Yep.
Nah. I don't.
But yeah, I enjoyed it. I don't know, 7 out of 10, I think is what I gave it.
Yeah, I gave it an 8. Because I liked it, like, especially watching it again the second time and picking up on a couple of the stuff. Like, I really thoroughly enjoyed this one. So this one was not part of the 70% of the stuff that I didn't like.
I real quick, I am going to go through the entirety of like all 9 darts for Anime Dartboard. Dart 1, Servant Service, gave a 7 out of 10. Actually, hang on, let me pull up a calculator for this. These are my ratings for the record. But yeah, Dart 1 was Servant Service, which I gave a 7 out of 10. Dart 2 was Black Bullet, which I gave an 8 out of 10. Dart 3 was Magical Warfare, which I gave a 4. Then what was Dart 5? Dart 5 was Skycrawlers, I think. Yeah, which I also gave a 4.
I gave it 0. So I didn't even watch it.
Then Dart, whatever number we're on now, after that was Wizard Barristers.
Yeah.
Which I gave a 6. Then Kido Kisatsu Pat Labor, which I gave a 4. And Gekugarashi, which I gave a 7. And Time of Eve, which I also gave a 7. So the average of that is 5.2 for me, which is pretty solid. So that comes out to about 50% of the time. Granted, you missed Servant Service, Black Bullet, but even so, that's Time of Eve, Gekugarashi, Wizard Barristers. Boy and His Beast. I forgot about Boy and His Beast.
I like
Boy and His Beast. Kaido Kisatsu, Pat Labor, Skycrawlers, Maho Senso, and you liked at least half of these. So that's 50% right there.
It's true, yeah. Your 7 gave me hope, Zach, but this movie fucking sucked. Maiden was not a fan.
I liked it.
I liked it too. Yeah.
I liked this movie. It is a 50% win rate for Dartboard.
So we're 50-50. Okay, that's
it's a literal coin toss.
Fair enough. So, I mean, what do we got next then?
Actually, if you're using my ratings, it's slightly higher than a coin toss. But all right, we're ready to spin the dart. Advance warning, not that anyone I think has access to the actual list. I did remove Queensblade from the Anime Dartboard list. Not because I don't want to watch Queensblade anymore, but because I decided I'm probably, like, every time we threw a fucking dart, I was worried Queensblade was going to come up because I want to do a whole episode of Water dedicated to every Queensblade anime. So instead of fucking worrying about that, I just removed Queen's Blade.
Fair enough.
So I'll probably make an episode of Water where I talk about like all 9 or 10 episodes of 9 or 10 Queen's Blade series. But all right, so let's throw a fucking dart.
Let's do it. Let's start it up.
Shuffle, 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 spin, and it's Shuffle the Anime. Oh yeah, no, I didn't spin it.
I was gonna say, what?
Also, I've already seen Shuffle, so.
It's Pat Labor 2. Electric Boogaloo.
Wait. What the fuck is this?
Ooh, that's never a good sign. That's never a good sign.
Everyone's favorite sentence. What the fuck is this?
This is Magical Warfare vibes.
Is this? This was dubbed?
Oh god.
Wait. I didn't know this. Oh yeah, no, this was dubbed. Jill Harris. Who the fuck is Jill Harris?
Ooh.
Well, okay, I guess this was dubbed. So we have Rampo Kitan Game of Lapis, or nope. Apparently, that's also the English title. Is Rampo Kitan Game of Lapis? Let me see if I can find you a thing to send to you.
Oof.
So you can put that up on screen for us.
What the fuck is Lapis?
He was, I believe, either a scientist or a mathematician. I know him mostly for his Lapis Demon thought experiment, which I'm probably paraphrasing and like oversimplifying it, but the basic idea is that if a demon or an entity were capable of knowing the individual positions of all particles in the universe, it could then calculate the future from them.
Neat.
Yeah. I will save this image onto my computer from what I believe is a porn site. And I will upload this onto Heaven so that you can pull it off on Heaven while I read about it, and then you can place it onto the screen.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Oh god.
Okay, Rampo Kitan Game of Lapis, which is apparently both the Japanese and English name, created by Studio Lurch in summer 2015. Its genre is mystery. Its source is original. It's apparently licensed by Funimation. So,
that should be easy to watch then, because I have Funimation.
So, yeah, so that's who owns it. Its average mouse score is 6.61, which puts it in the 6 range, which means that there is a 50% chance that this will be good. Looks like it was inspired by a famous Japanese novelist.
Yeah.
So, okay. After what appears to be just another ordinary day, middle school student Yoshio Kobayashi wakes up in his classroom to make a terrifying discovery. His teacher has been mutilated, and Yoshio happens to be holding the weapon used to commit the crime. Despite the initial shock of finding himself in this predicament, the curious and detached Yoshio can't help but secretly be thrilled about this attempt to frame him. His put-upon friend Soji Hashiba is turned into a willing accomplice, and together they are determined to prove Yoshio's innocence. Additionally, Kogoro Akechi, a genius high school detective...
Akechi?
Yep. Akechi makes a fucking... Goro Akechi. Oh my god. The character's name is Kogoro Akechi.
You know, the one thing we didn't talk about in Persona
was Goro Akechi.
Well...
Okay. Kogoro Akechi, a genius high school detective, has come to the scene of the crime in order to investigate the case. And when Kogoro meets the young man found guilty, an intense mutual interest sparks between the two of them. Kobayashi wishes to enter Akechi's world of crime solving as his assistant, and Akechi is determined to see if the enthusiastic boy is up to the challenge. Rampo Katan Game of Lapis is a surreal mystery and horror anime that contains brutal and bizarre crimes loosely based on stories written by Ranpo Edogawa, who is famous for his influence on Japanese fiction. It was directed by Seiji Kishi, who I actually think I've heard of. Kogoro Akechi predates Persona 5. Yes, clearly. He directed Angel Beats.
I don't know what that is.
That is my favorite anime of all time.
Oh.
It is one of the only 3 anime I have ever given a 10. He directed Assassination Classroom and Assassination Classroom Season 2.
I'm gonna add Angel Beats to my queue right now.
Asobi Asobasa. He directed Aura. He directed Carnival Phantasm. He directed Danganronpa 3 animes. He directed a Devil Survivor anime, which is a Megaten series anime.
Yep. There we go. It's already in here. Nice.
Hamatora. Kami-sama Dolls. Directed Kengan Ashura Season 1 and Season 2. Directed the Persona 4 animation. Directed Radiant. Directed this. Directed Hamatora. Directed Seto no Hamayumi. My god, he directed Tsukigakure. Holy shit.
Did he do the P5 anime too? Because I've been watching that.
No, he did not. He directed Classroom of the Elite. Directed Yuki Yuna as a Hero and Yuki Yuna Season 2. So this man has been around the block and he's done some high caliber shit, actually. So that's actually a good sign.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Isn't Angel Beats the same universe?
I'm pretty sure it's not. Yeah, so this actually looks surprisingly promising the more I look into it.
And it's conveniently on Funimation, too.
Yeah, I mean, I hope it's good. It looks fucking good.
Yes. I will watch
but I'm always
Beats.
a little bit skeptical.
Fair enough.
I mean, after all, it's got an average score of 6.61, and this is the show where we flip a coin to decide if an anime is good.
That is
See,
apparently accurate.
Here's the joke. See, everyone thinks I'm actually spinning a wheel because that's what I've said, but here's a little behind-the-scenes peek. I actually already know if all the shows are good or not, and I'm literally causing them to flip back and forth. Wink.
No, that's been 2 bangers in a row.
I know, I'm fucking with you.
I know. Actually, no, technically, I mean, I like Boy and His Beast, so it's technically been 3 bangers.
I'm fucking with you. Wink.
So
but yeah.
Lapis.
Rampo Kitan Game of Lapis. I'm down. I bet this is gonna be pretty good.
Yeah.
I'll probably watch this after Mononokean.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch this in Angel Beats and then report back.
Don't you fucking hate on Angel Beats?
We'll see.
Don't you fucking hate on the treasure that is Angel Beats? Angel Beats is my favorite piece of media ever.
I'm gonna watch it and then we'll talk about it next one. So are we doing the next one on the 3rd?
Yeah, looks like it.
Okay. I just wanted to double check and make sure. I'm putting it in my calendar. I'm putting stuff in my calendar now.
Okay.
Yeah. The next one will be on Sax Channel, so definitely tune in next month where we're gonna talk about this, Angel Beats, and who knows what games.
No, not Angel Beats.
We're gonna talk about it. I'm gonna watch it.
Spare my darling.
Hey, you've openly said stuff about my favorite anime, so now it's time for the tables.
Well, yeah, but Angel Bates.
Are you gonna be playing P5 Strikers in between?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm probably streaming it in April.
In April, okay. So we won't talk about it until then, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna beat it
Because
between now and
I should be able to get the game in April.
okay.
So my guess on I will bump whatever is on the queue. I don't give a fuck. I don't care if it's a viewer request. I will splice a viewer request in half if I have to.
Okay. Yeah, we'll say
Strikers will be played fucking ASAP. But we'll also probably get through it pretty quickly. I don't think it's a very long game, is it?
No, it's not. It's not super long. It's only like 20, 30 hours or something like that. Maybe 40. I can't remember. I'm only like a little bit into it. Like I've only done like one area.
Main story and extra 44 and a half.
Okay.
So that'll be like 3-4 streams maybe for me.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to finishing up that game. So we'll definitely talk about it when you're done with it.
Yeah.
You definitely could.
I don't know. We might be done with Digital Devil Saga by then. Who knows? We might be on to Persona 4 Arena Ultimax. I'll fucking cut a Persona in half for a different Persona.
Inception.
Yeah.
So yeah, hopefully I will be back to streaming within the next coming week. Depending on whenever I get my PC back. I'm just not gonna like load up my girlfriend's computer with a whole bunch of shit just because I'm gonna have to delete it and restart it anyways. I have no idea what I'm coming back to. I'm open to subjections. Maybe subjections.
Terraria.
Terraria is definitely going to happen. You and I will figure out what days we want to do it. Probably Saturdays, right? Because we normally do shit Saturdays.
Yeah, I'm good with Saturdays. Yeah. I know Arcec wants on board, and he like invited his brother, I think.
Yeah, I think Jake's coming too. Yeah. So that'll probably be Saturdays. I'm not sure what I'm open to suggestions and subjections on what anyone else wants me to play. I might just go back to the JRPGs. I'm not sure yet. I'm gonna have a whole bunch of options as soon as this PC comes back, so I'm open to anything really. Just drop in the Discord, shoot me a DM on Twitter. Whatever you guys want to do. I'm on social media. Zach, what do you got planned for the next coming weeks?
Oh, I already said. We are going to do the final branch of Drakengard 3, Ending D, which is famous for having one of the hardest, if not the hardest, final bosses in any video game. And it will probably be the very first game since the new canon start that I fail to beat, just because I'm not confident I can actually beat the final boss of Drakengard 3. It is legendary for a reason. Then next up after that is Digital Devil Saga Avatar 2, which is Maid's game request. Persona 4 Arena Ultimax. I do have the Persona 4 Arena Story DLC, which is why I've chosen Ultimax, so we will be doing Arena and Ultimax at the same time. We'll be doing Arena in Ultimax specifically. And Echo 2 Lord of Nightmares, which is Pase's viewer request. That game is a fan translation, so we'll see how that one runs. I'm not totally sure how that's going to go. And then God of War 1, 2, and 3 are all going to be the same, like, general thing. But yeah. And, you know, Strikers happens to find its way. Well, no. Because if we're doing the third, I won't have played Strikers by then. So there's the next 4 games I'm playing. I don't think we'll get... There's no way I see us getting past the 3 God of Wars, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, those are pretty beefy games, yeah.
I remember them being super short. But then I look it up, and it's like they're 20 hours each, and I'm like, they are? Really?
The Discord link's right there if anyone wants to join my Discord for random posts and Twitter announcements and game suggestions, all that stuff.
Fight suggestions. Give us your dumb bullshit.
Yeah. Also, yeah, please fight suggestions. I'm going to be adding that channel to my Discord as well. So I hope everyone enjoyed the cast tonight. It was a good time. Good time. We ran just normal time, 3 hours, 3.5 hours. So We'll
This
be
is actually the longest one.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, neat. Yeah, we had a lot to talk about. So.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, I hope everyone enjoys their week, their day, their month, their year, everything. You know, Friends theme song. You know, Zach. Drop your link.
Right. Yes, that is a thing that I can do. There is my link. That's my Twitch channel. You can come see me if you want to see me play a bunch of Japanese games you've probably not heard of.
Yeah.
And also, I also have my Discord link in my channel. Should you want to visit my Discord, where you can come talk about Japanese games you've never heard of. So.
Going forward, I will be way more active in Discords too.
I also talk about anime, I guess, on my Discord.
I sometimes forget that I have Discord on my phone. Anyways, we love you very much, and thank you for tuning in. And those of you on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe, share this to your friends. Show your mom. Your mom might like us. Who knows? We're both two beautiful men. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Moms love us. That's just fact.
Yes. Very, very much so.
Thanks for the follow, Mac. I appreciate that. Everyone have a good night, and we'll see you next time. Until then, stay frosty.
Bye-bye.
Bye.